Hey, what's up, everybody? Today is August 10th, 2019, and it's 1 a.m. Eastern Time. And this is like a bit of a weird intro to the Wrestling Rundown that I never really have done before. But this is just a little bit of a disclaimer because the WWE portion of this Wrestling Rundown is going to be a little dated because I hadn't seen the Raw post Extreme Rules. So everything that I said kind of will be outdated, but it took me a while to actually get this video out because I was struggling to find the time to record the AEW Fight for the Fallen review portion of this video. Because what happened is I had to pack for my trip to Florida and my schedule kept changing, so pretty much I was struggling to get it out because then, I packed the next day, then I actually went to Florida, I came back, and then I worked a couple of days, and then I went to New Hampshire, so it was very tough for me to get the review out, and you're going to see a lot of videos that pop up because this is video 1996, and you're going to see a lot of videos come out within, today because I pre-recorded a lot of them after this video, but yeah. Just want to kind of give this disclaimer, but I hope you guys enjoy the Wrestling Rundown and enjoy 2000 video when it comes out. But yeah, enjoy the show. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to video 1996. We're 4 videos away, 3 right after I upload this, from 2000. So it's a big celebration. But yeah, this is the Wrestling Rundown, episode number 162. So we're getting close to 200 of the rundown, too. So that's exciting. I am the host, the Aftermatch Wrestling, the co-Aftermatch Wrestling Predictions Heavyweight Champion of the Four Horsemen, Owen, the Birdman Finch, and I'm here with...
your new Wrestling Rundown Heavyweight Champion, spoiler alert, by the way.
Yeah.
Champion, Chris, once again, the fucking champion. The Invader has been taken down.
And you did have finally a Money in the Bank cash-in where the first cash-in failed.
It failed.
Yeah.
It failed. I swept the weekend.
Once we get into that,
if you evolve, because then that would have been a true sweep.
We're not doing that. Yeah. So just so you know what's going on for this video, we're doing a different approach with the Wrestling Rundown in this episode. So right now we're recording this at 420. You get to see the jokes that are about to pop up from that.
420.
Yeah. And we're doing the Extreme Rules portion of the review right now, and then we're going to come back at like 9:30. Maybe Chris will be here. Maybe he won't. And we're going to review AEW Fight for the Fallen because they both took place the same weekend, and I want to have, both of those reviews in the same video because it makes sense.
Depends on the time.
Yeah. But also, too, I should give a disclaimer. I haven't seen any Raw or SmackDown yet because I wanted to judge this show without seeing any of those shows. Just in case, Raw and SmackDown ruin my enjoyment of it because that typically happens. So, yeah, let's just talk about Extreme Rules. But yeah, what a wrestling weekend it was for wrestling fans, even if they watched the Evolve show.
I would like to know a little bit of it.
Huh?
I started watching a little bit of it a few days ago, and I stopped watching it.
I want to know the idiots, though, that picked the Evolve show over AEW. Because there's those people out there. So
I was gonna watch both of them, and then I'm like, you know what? I kind of forgot Evolve was on.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm stuck with just that AEW show.
Well, the thing is, too, is
it was 100 times better than Evolve, by the way.
I bet it was. Well, the thing is about it too is they could have. I've ranted about it, but it all could have been avoided because you could have just streamed the show the following Monday or something instead of going up against AEW. So
I mean, it was their big show.
Yeah, but just air it a few days later, so that way,
I mean, they could have done it the next weekend, theoretically.
Yeah.
This weekend coming up.
Because they've done it with the UK shows, why can't they do it here? So
Yeah.
So I don't really get that at all.
I mean, I can see why they did it, but like, I don't know. No one really watched it.
Yeah, I don't think
they cared about the first match anyway.
Obviously, yeah.
For personal bias reasons, because our kind of friend was the first match on the show.
I mean, I didn't even really care that much about that either. Like,
That's the only match I really cared about, but
yeah,
it was good.
Especially too, because Evolved show really isn't going to have much consequence, anyways. So, I
mean,
it
took them 6 minutes to actually plug the WWE Network. By the way,
yeah. So
I kind of think the announcer forgot that it was on the WWE Network.
Yeah. So yeah, not watching that show. No interest. So, because WWE paid later on in AEW for doing that. Which we'll talk about when we get there. But this is Extreme Rules. Which I don't think a lot of people had high hopes for, considering it was the same weekend as Fight for the Fallen, and that the build up to the show was really not all that good. So, did it cause WWE to deliver a good show? Well, you'll find out when we actually review the show and give the letter grade at the end of the video. So, started with the preview. We had the host, which, I don't really know why they have a kickoff show if they have a preview anyways, but they do. We had the host of Kathy Kelly, Caleb Braxton, and Mike Rome. And, they talked about how WWE was all over the place this weekend. Like, made it seem like they were the only thing that had stuff going on this weekend, and completely dismissed that there was an event the day before that. Not Evolve, just saying there was another big event the day before that.
To them, it didn't exist.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny. Like, they tried to make it seem like they were all over the place. They're the only thing that exists, and then they kind of forgot about AEW. So, and they may have been like all over the place, but AEW was in one spot and made probably a bigger splash than WWE did that week. I'm just saying. And then Pat McAfee got interviewed, and this is where they plug that watch along they do with Kathy Kelly.
Did you see what happened to him?
Yeah, he got like whipped by Matt Hardy with the kendo
That's
stick.
Fucking hilarious.
I bet that's the only. I mean, I haven't like watch along, but I get the vibe that like if that WWE could clearly like if Pat McAfee could just be out there with his own devices and stuff like that, it would be better probably than it is. So, especially too because it's like kind of weird because they're gonna it's a WWE based thing, so I get the vibe like any match that's bad, they'll just pretend it's good. So, and yeah. Speaking of which, by the way, the women's tag team champions are like a constant presence on that watch along, not out there defending their championships. What is it, like 3 pay-per-views that the women's tag team titles haven't been defended now on? So there you go.
When was the last time they defended them?
WrestleMania, because they won at Money in the Bank. They couldn't be at Super Showdown, and they won at Stomping Grounds. A championship that could be in all 3 brands hasn't been on a pay-per-view since WrestleMania. So
and the fact that they put on a comedy tag team too.
Yeah.
I'll never forgive him for that.
Yeah. Then The Miz cut a promo because he was like throwing the opening pitch at some type of baseball game. So there you go. I guess they felt the need to show that, but they'll book him like a crappy baby face the rest of the week though. So there you go. Then Ricochet got interviewed about his match with AJ Styles, talking about how he was like surprised that AJ Styles would turn on him and join forces with the club, even though he was in New Japan the same time AJ was. So I don't know why he'd be surprised about that. Yeah. And, he says that he's going to, retain the title against all the odds. Typical babyface promo. Then we had a tea party with Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin hosted by Caleb Braxton. And, I don't even need to say what was in it because based off those names, it sucked. So,
yeah. I don't even need to watch the know it sucked.
Yeah. They make sure to tell us that this match could be the end of Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch's relationship, though. They make sure to continue to tell us that. So, there you go. Did you know that, by the way, that could have been the end of we could have seen the end of a relationship in front of our eyes?
I mean, they only said it about 467 times in the past 3 weeks.
Yeah. So the preview show really wasn't anything interesting. I just, I was on my computer, adding things to playlist and on Facebook and such. So I just was listening to it in the background. So half of the stuff I just made up that happened. So, but there it is. So then we have the kickoff show. Oh, by the way, I'll just make sure to mention this. On the preview show, the WWE loves to piss off its fans because they added 3 matches on the show before the show even happened. And I have a feeling that if these 3 matches... Actually, I probably still would have lost because I don't think we would have predicted what would happen in these 3 matches. So the 3 matches that were added was, on the kickoff, the Intercontinental Championship match between Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura. That's not good. But, you're adding your IC title match the last minute on a kickoff show.
Literally.
And then they pissed off, everybody in 205 Live Matters Facebook group by adding the Cruiserweight match again to the kickoff show. And I just want to make sure a Cruiserweight match that had 3 years of storyline behind it was on the kickoff show.
Literally.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, too, you could say, did we really need to have the SmackDown Women's and the Raw Tag Team title match on the main card? I get the Raw Tag Team title match was pretty good, but it really wasn't, worthy to go on the main card with the story that it had. It had no story behind it, pretty much. And the SmackDown Women's, that should have been easily on the kickoff, like not on the main card. That could have been on the kickoff show.
Yeah.
And it was not needed. And then, so yeah, but nope, they just put the Cruiserweight there. Especially too, also too, you could say, it was in the guy's hometown too, and he was on the kickoff show too.
Yeah,
so.
You could easily have flipped the Cruiserweight Championship match, but even just the Raw Tag Team Championship match.
Yeah.
The Usos, I love them. They're my favorite tag team, but they're the fucking kings of the pre-show.
Yeah.
Like, you could have just put them on there. We'll get to it.
Yeah. And then they added Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler, which was kind of weird because earlier in the day, they had said like Kevin Owens was banned from like all WWE events, and he like went on Twitter and said, "I'm just going to invade the show anyway." So I guess Shane McMahon was like, "Might as well put you in a match and lift your ban." So there you go.
By the way, KO's new gimmick A fucking plus.
I love it. Yeah. Then we had the kickoff show itself. We had the panel of Beth Phoenix, Jonathan Coachman, Charlie Caruso, who they told us it was her birthday like 3,000 times on the kickoff show. I get it's your birthday. I get it's your birthday.
I couldn't tell.
I get it's your birthday, but you don't need to tell us like 3,000 times. Just say it once and move on. And Sam Roberts was also on the kickoff show, who apparently agreed with me. He didn't care that it was Charlie Caruso's birthday, which was funny. And I bet apparently too, Sam Roberts is still the last professional broadcaster, like who owns a podcast and stuff like that. Wrestling Observer, buddy. Wrestling Observer. Just saying that. And they're professional too. Wrestling Observer. I know sometimes they don't act professional, but they're more professional than him probably. So, I just think WWE is just kissing up to him. They don't want him going out there and trashing the product. So,
no, yeah, no.
Because they're not going to say Wrestling Observers, even though they feed the information to the Wrestling Observer. I don't see Sam Roberts getting fed any information, so.
Jack shit.
I'm just saying.
I like how Meltzer knows, like, a lot of the shit that goes on, and a lot of the storylines, and he's right, like, 60% of the time, 70% of the time. How come Sam Roberts doesn't get that information?
And I'll just say this. A lot of people rant on Wrestling Observer, saying, it's a crappy news site, but where do all these other news sites get their information from? It's typically quoted from the Wrestling Observer. So
Brings That News gets, like, at least 90% of their stuff from the Observer.
Yeah, so it's like, stop. But yet they'll be saying, "Oh, this guy doesn't know how to rate a wrestling match." But yet you if you need information, you go right to the Wrestling Observer. So anyhow, then we had the commentary team on set kickoff show. It was the SmackDown commentary team: Corey Graves, Tom Phillips, and Byron Saxton. Then we had the 205 Live commentary team: Nigel McGuinness, Vic Joseph, and Aiden English. Who it's definitely different to listen to the 205 Live commentary team versus the SmackDown, because you can clearly hear who's in each other's ear based off both those matches, because the 205 Live commentary team was clearly superior than the SmackDown one. So there you go.
All right, SmackDown, Nakamura and Balor.
Yep. Then we had, how could you remember what brand anybody's on? They show up, they flip flop all the time, anyways. So.
I will say this about SmackDown this week: Cesaro was the wild card. He made sure to tell everybody.
Okay, there you go. So they reminded us, because they kind of dropped that rule for a while. So, then Kevin Owens does a fiery interview, ranting on Shane McMahon again, talking about how Shane McMahon actually had the decency to book him on the show, and he said that he's going to steal the show. Goes off on Dolph Ziggler again, and when Caleb Braxton was interviewing him, he was kind of saying, "Hey, what's up, Kaylee? Got questions for me, huh?" Like, it was funny. Just go if you're gonna watch anything from the Kickoff Show. Well, watch the Cruiserweight match, but also watch this. If you see that, watch this interview, because it's awesome. So, and then Lacey Evans is backstage. Like I said, what's the point of the preview show? Because they basically just reset everything that they said at the tea party. They even talked about how they're gonna use the teapot on Seth Rollins, and Lacey Evans wasn't having any of that because it's a delicate teapot.
Of course.
So. She doesn't want that getting used. But yeah, they talked about, I don't even know. They were just being lame. You don't really need to know what they talked about, because it's all if you follow the storyline, you basically have an idea what they talked about. So
yeah.
And then we had the first actual match on the show. It was the Intercontinental Championship match. Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This match was really good. It was really good. And what pisses me off is that they do the split screen, because right when Balor was doing his comeback, they were in the split screen mode, so it kind of took away from his comeback. Apparently they forgot that how could they remember how to do it, because they haven't been able to really do the typical format when it came to commercials the past few weeks. So they kind of forgot how to do that. But it was about the same match you saw on SmackDown like the week before that. I love the new. I mean, I know it's not technically new, but the new where like Nakamura does like the running German suplex like through the ropes on his opponents. I think that's really cool. And then Nakamura hits a running knee, which they don't call it the Kinshasa, but what's different between him doing that than the Kinshasa? It's basically the same move, except I guess he's like using a different part of his knee, but it's this. I think it's the same move. So, really
pretty
weird.
much it.
And then he hits the Kinshasa right to the back of the head and wins the Intercontinental Championship. I liked how they tried to tell the story again when Nakamura tried to get Balor counted out, but this time Finn Balor's not having any of that. He's just beating the crap out of Nakamura on the outside, and but Nakamura becomes a new Intercontinental Champion, which was fairly confusing because it was just randomly added on the Kickoff Show at the time, and Nakamura just randomly won the title after not being on television for like a month. So that was fairly confusing. But I really liked the match. I give it 3.5 stars. Chris can't really give any comments because he missed this match. I just hope that it means they're actually going to do something with the Intercontinental Championship. Like, remember when Nakamura was U.S. champion? He was never on television, so we
hopefully that changes.
Yeah, and then there's that, and then what happens to Finn Balor? Well, I guess apparently he's going to be taking time off because he asked for it. And I guess it was granted it, which is kind of a surprise considering the fact that I would think people backstage would be like, nah, you're gonna wrestle 37 more matches before you take time off, buddy. Like, relax.
Yeah. Apparently, it's gonna be. I'm thinking it's after the 27th because the WWE today announced a live event.
Okay.
WWE Network for the 27th in Nashville, and he's on the show.
Okay.
Probably subject to change, I think, but I think it's Balor and Nakamura again. Okay. I think.
But so maybe they'll do a rematch, at SummerSlam. Considering the fact that he lost, but they're not supposed to do that.
You'll see once you watch it. Once you watch Raw, if you don't know already.
Yeah.
Going in a different direction than Nakamura.
But but plus they're not supposed to. Remember, they said no more rematch clauses, so not supposed to. So hopefully they don't do that. Because remember rematch clauses weren't supposed to be a thing like a while back, and then they basically said fuck it.
All the rematch clauses. All the.
Then yeah, so that match was real good. And then the New Day got interviewed, and it was funny. Because, when Big E is, acting all wild and weird, it's typically funny. And they were, standing, in formation, over each other. It was weird. But, they basically said they're going to win all the gold tonight. They wish Charlie Caruso a happy birthday. But just watch this interview for Big E because it's... Because you know how Big E acts sometimes when he's got to really act off the wall and, it's funny. So...
Yeah.
Then we had the Cruiserweight Championship match. Cruiserweight Champion Drew Gulak versus Tony Nese. This match was great because, they've wrestled, tons of times. And, I love... have you seen the new Drew... You've seen the new Drew Gulak now, right?
Yeah.
How he's basically now he's more malicious now, and, he doesn't care about making a better 205 Live. He just cares about making a better Drew Gulak and such. Yeah, they really worked a really well worked match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Gulak started off aggressive immediately by hitting a drop kick right off the bat. They brawled. Tony Nese did the springboard moonsault, and then he went for the running knees but failed. And then eventually Gulak won with the what's it called? Not the fireman's carry neck breaker, but the Burden Hammer neck breaker, which I like that finisher. And he retained the Cruiserweight title, which made sense because it was way too early for him to lose it. This isn't the main roster. He's not losing in his hometown, so there's that. Because typically if this match had happened, on the main roster portion of the show, he would have lost. Because it's in his hometown. Wrestlers aren't allowed to win in the hometown.
You can't win your hometown ever.
Or your birthday. Can't win any of those.
It's banned.
Yeah, apparently. And then, so Gulak retained the title. I don't know where, Tony Nese goes from here, or Drew Gulak. I'm assuming Drew Gulak's going to move on because there's no reason to do a rematch unless, they really want to go for it. The only flaw with this match was it was way too short. It was only 7 minutes. For a match that had 3 years of storyline behind it, it deserved longer than 7 minutes. But yeah, the match was still great. I gave it 4 stars, and yeah, that was basically the end of the kickoff show. They just hyped the main event up, and I say hype in quotes because there was no hyping up that main event. That was that. But I thought the kickoff show, was real good. I enjoyed, all the interviews and stuff that took place on. But a lot of people say WWE's kickoff shows are superior to AEW's. Maybe I feel like it goes hand in hand, but AEW just gets it short and sweet. It's done. WWE got to sit through all that bullshit panel and stuff to even get to the matches and stuff. It's like, if you're gonna do the panel, do it the night before, or whatever. Don't do it like. I don't know. I hate the panel because
it's a half hour.
Yeah.
It's an hour long pre-show. You think you're gonna get a few matches in it, and most of the time it's just one match in fucking 50 minutes of talking.
I feel like
you get a 5-minute match.
Yeah. I feel like the match. That's why the matches suffer because they have to write the matches so that way people can have time to talk about the matches on the pre-show and stuff. It's like. We don't need any of that. So the AEW doesn't have any of that. So just saying.
Have an awkward commentary team.
Yeah, but still, AEW doesn't have a panel that talks. I mean, if anything, AEW doesn't even. You could be condoned for having it because they don't have TV deal yet. But WWE feels the need to. It makes the television pointless too because WWE is just filling you in on stuff you could just watch on the television show. So
exactly.
No wonder why no one watches Raw or SmackDown. You could just watch the pre-show and be fine. But then we had the real show itself. Again, we had the SmackDown commentary team. I already said what it was. And we already had the Raw commentary team, which was Corey Graves, Michael Cole, and Renee Young. And we had the first match on the show, which I get to talk about because my favorite of all time is in there. And he's over here. Right there. There he is. I gotta get this back on because I didn't think that. Yeah, so it's Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre in a no-holds-barred match. I will say one flaw of this match was the stipulation you can get used at all. It was just a regular tag team match up until the last 5 minutes, which I didn't really get at all. But other than that, everything else ruled. I want to talk about the Undertaker. Now, I can't say if he looked better here than at Super Showdown because everyone said he looked pretty bad at Super Showdown. But I didn't see Super Showdown and I don't plan on watching it. So I think this is why Undertaker wanted to come back because he was pretty upset about the match he had at Super Showdown. And this match, Undertaker looked I shouldn't say in phenomenal shape, but he looked like he was in pretty damn good shape. If he looked the best he's probably ever looked in years. And the match starts. It's Roman Reigns facing off with Drew McIntyre, and they lock up and stuff. But typically Roman Reigns gets the better of him. And then eventually Undertaker comes into the win, and he's got to go face to face with Shane McMahon. To which Shane McMahon's like, "Yeah, I don't want to deal with this guy," but he didn't have a choice because McIntyre was recovering from the Roman Reigns onslaught. So Undertaker's like, "Yeah, you got to come in and face me now."
Yeah.
And then Undertaker, just destroys Shane McMahon because, we're not living in a world where Shane McMahon's destroying the Undertaker in a fair fight. That world, we refuse to live in that type of world. So, he does his right hand, he does his old school, he does the Undertaker thins. And then it's time for Drew McIntyre to come into the match. And if that's going to be the match at SummerSlam, based off, the altercation that they had, that's a match I would love to see at SummerSlam. Would have loved to see it years ago when Taker was in a little bit better shape, and maybe with McIntyre was in if it could take a time machine back in time now, maybe go in the New Day's time machine and be this version now against 2008 Undertaker. That would be a hell of a match. And Undertaker does the guillotine leg drop to him, does the big boot, and then Roman Reigns finally gets tagged back in, and he starts getting on the wall, and then eventually Shane McMahon pulls the rope down, and Roman Reigns falls, and this leads to the heels getting the heat. And then Undertaker wasn't having this shit. He went over there with the steel chair, and he chased off Shane McMahon for the time being, and apparently Renee Young thought that Shane McMahon was just gonna leave, and then Corey Graves was like, "No, he's right there." Like, oh, that's funny. And they get the heat on, Roman Reigns for a while, and this is where you could say this match really doesn't make any sense, because why are they following the traditional tag team rules where they got to tag in and out and stuff when it's, no holds barred? So I'm going to give it both of these for that. And, eventually Undertaker finally gets the hot tag, and, he's on a roll. He loses it. He tears apart the English announcers table. And, and I don't mean aid in English. I mean, actually the English commentary table. I got to make sure people didn't think I meant aid in English because, there's the two definitions of Englishes on this show. Aid in English and just English talking, in English. So got to make sure people don't think aid in English's table is not getting destroyed. So, and then the Undertaker goes for the choke slam, and, Elias pops up, that damn Fiend, and hits Undertaker right across the back with a guitar, because he just felt like he needed to get involved in this match. I don't know why he needed to be here. And Drew McIntyre hit the Claymore kick, into the setting Roman Reigns into the timekeeper's area, so he's out of action for a while. And everyone, just those damn Fiends heels, just have to beat down the Undertaker because they know they can't destroy the Undertaker by themselves. They need help. And that damn Shane McMahon just had to go off the turnbuckles and do the elbow drop through the table, which looked very good, by the way, but just not the person he did it on. That wasn't fair. And then, they have to just bullshit where, Shane McMahon just felt the need. He needed to do the coast to coast with the trash can. And, that wasn't enough, though. Undertaker fought from that. He sat up, and when he sat up, Shane McMahon, he was done from that point, he got laid out with a choke slam. Elias got laid out with a spear on the outside, and then Undertaker was setting up for the tombstone, and Drew McIntyre was standing behind him to do the Claymore kick, and I was like, don't you dare let this happen. Don't you dare let Undertaker take that Claymore kick and lose. But Roman Reigns, that courageous superhero, was right there to save him with the spear, and then Undertaker finally got the tombstone. He struggled at first, because I think he's scared because he doesn't want to drop Shane on his head like a Super Showdown. So he was brave after that, and then he laid out Shane with a tombstone and won the match. And yeah, I thought the match was really good. Now, obviously, I gave the match 3 3/4. It's probably really 3.5, but because the Undertaker's in the match, he's so good that it goes up a quarter. So there you go. So, isn't that great? Like, Undertaker's so awesome. He's star rated, and that just shows you your tremendous greatness right there.
Surprised it wasn't 4.
It was almost 4, but I can't be too much of a fan. There's got to be,
I'm surprised it didn't break the scale.
I almost did. Like, Undertaker's so good, he probably does break the scale, but, we had that. He wasn't good enough to break the scale because, you have to remember it's a no-holds-barred match, and, they're following the tag team rules. Like, that shouldn't happen. So, and afterwards, Undertaker says, this is your yard, but Roman Reigns knows, though, it's not his yard, because he let Undertaker, leave, and Undertaker was happy with the match afterwards. Obviously, he was happy because he won. If he lost, everything would have. We're not living in a world where Shane McMahon's pinning the Undertaker, and Shane McMahon's the best in the world, but apparently he forgot that the Undertaker's living in his world. So actually, no, he's not living in his world. Yeah, he's walking dead man in his world. So you know what?
That's right. He is living in Shane's world.
You know what? Fuck it. 4 stars, just because the Undertaker's just so good. He ups it to a whole star rate, and it's 4 stars, and no one's gonna if you guys want to fight me on that, then all I'm gonna say is because the Undertaker's in it, it's 4 stars. Plus he's watching me right there right now. I have to give it 4. So
you always got an eye on you.
Yeah, so we need now. You're probably gonna be more critical because no fanboys of yours are in this match. So
10
stars. 10 stars.
3.25.
3.25. Is Undertaker not good enough for you for 4 stars?
4 stars because Roman Reigns is in it.
What? Well, the Undertaker, he was there.
He's all right, I guess.
Oh, come on. I know what you did. Hey, he's right here, Right? Oh, hold on, wait. I'm not holding
Yeah, that's a WWE logo. Yeah, that's there, yeah.
Yeah, he's right there.
He deserves it. He deserves 4 stars.
Wait.
Only because
Roman
he does. Carried him.
He ain't carried nobody. He was in the match more than Roman Reigns was. Roman Reigns was just lying around.
He carried him.
Did not. Carried. You're just jealous because you can't wrestle at 56 years old. You're just jealous.
Yeah, I am.
We're moving on. So that star rating. I always say all star ratings matter, but that was up until that one. So. That star rating means nothing, so... Alright, now we're gonna get serious again and get out of the fanboy territory, because we had Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins doing the worst interview ever.
No, it's not. The best.
Okay, when we talk about this. So Becky Lynch literally said that she was going to no, what she said that like if Lacey Evans was a statue, the birds would poop on her, even though that's not really exactly how that works. Obviously, if anybody's a statue, you're gonna get pooped on because birds don't really, they're not selective. They're gonna poop on anybody even if they're a statue. So yeah, so that was not good.
That Lacey Evans statue is gonna get targeted.
And then Seth Rollins, said like, that him and Becky Lynch went on a walk, and he's like, oh, but it wasn't a romantic walk. It's like, who talks like that? And then, he said that he like saw like something in New York that like the bell in New York, and he said that he's gonna crack a bell into Baron Corbin's head. It's like, you didn't even think that. It's like, no one talks the way you guys are talking. Like, it doesn't even sound human.
I beg to differ with what he said, because clearly it was a romantic walk down Philadelphia.
Yeah, but they did not. It's not good. So, this interview is a fail. I'm glad, I'm glad they're a couple, but damn, the WWE make me hate them as a couple by the time this storyline was over. Can you imagine too? By the way, if they're really not a couple, WWE's just working us, because I'm starting to kind of think that, especially after this lame ass storyline. I think this storyline like ruined Becky Lynch more than anything else. But yeah, that's
kind of ruined Seth Rollins a little bit too.
Oh, well, he was ruined at the end of the show.
Very much so.
We'll get into that.
I'm gonna pull.
All right, so since your boys are your favorite tag team of all times in this match, you get to talk about it.
To be honest, I watched this show on Sunday, and I fucking forgot about 99.9% of what happened in this match.
Okay, I'll talk about it then.
But I know of a few things in the match.
Okay.
Like Scott Dawson taking an absolutely scary bump off the top rope.
Well, first we should say who's in the match. It's the Usos versus the Revival for the Raw Tag titles. So.
But it was one of the Usos. Still don't know the difference between the two.
We never will.
Was on the top rope, and they were tussling on the top rope, and they both fell.
Yeah.
Scott Dawson took an absolutely fucking horrific looking bump. And hit the fucking top rope and bounced off of it. I thought that was fucking scary. Like, I don't know if that was planned or if that was like meant to happen. Like, but that looked awful. That looked really scary. Another part that I remember vaguely was one of the Usos breaking out the pin with the flying noose.
There you go.
And then Shatter Machine for the victory on one of the Usos, obviously.
And this match, was pretty good. I was very surprised. Like, this match exceeded. I mean, it's not like I thought the match would be bad, but the feud's been. And everyone says that we've seen the match thousands of times, but this is actually the first time I've seen it, because every time they've done it, it was like doing that stage where I was boycotting. So this match was fresh to me. So, but it was still pretty good. This match would be a lot better if it was in NXT, and I'm not saying because it's NXT, but because NXT with the feud would have been better, and the feud because that's why the match really was also too I think they would have better time, and obviously too it just sucks because when they finally have good matches they book the Revival like shit. You can't really care about them. So so yeah, the match still was pretty good. I give it 3 1/4. But yeah, I don't think this didn't lessen my worries that they're gonna use the Revival better, because I don't think that's gonna happen. I think they're gonna lose every match, because I think they're gonna lose all the non-title matches, and then when the title match happens, they'll either win or lose. So.
This has been it's been a good feud though. For the most part, the match quality has been really good from what I've seen.
just not the feud, because we remember they did Uso hard on them, so. So yeah, the match I thought was pretty good. I give it 3 1/4.
I agree.
See, now the critics and us are back. So there you go. Who knows how long that will last, though. So, then we had Alistair Black versus Cesaro. Now, the SmackDown team commentated this match since, it was a SmackDown feud. I got to make sure to say that because Cesaro is technically supposed to be on Raw.
The cross-branded match.
Yeah. This match was great. I was very worried this was going to be a squash, but I'm glad they actually, let them go out there and have a wrestling match. And the stiff kicks and, uppercuts they gave to each other were just brutal. Like, Alistair Black, immediately went for one. And I like that Cesaro was playing mind games with him. Cesaro hit a really cool, springboard uppercut and then that lifting uppercut that he hits on everybody. That was awesome. Really nice submissions in this match. But then eventually, from out of nowhere, literally, Alistair Black, because he was just kicking him regular, and then from out of nowhere, he just hit the Black Mass, and beats Cesaro. But no one looked weak from losing this match. Cesaro looked strong, and Alistair Black looked strong, and I thought it was, a great match. So I gave it 4 stars. I thoroughly, enjoyed this match, and
it was a great match.
I think thus far, Alistair Black has been used very well on the main roster. His vignettes, even though I think the vignettes really weren't needed because it's really weird. He was just backstage doing promos, and typically you do those when someone's debuting, but he had already debuted well before that, so that was weird. I feel like they're really showing it, which is kind of weird because this doesn't seem like a character that the main roster would really like all that much. So because a lot of people say if Alistair Black had come up in the the golden era, he would not get pushed mainly because of his tattoos and such because he doesn't look like everybody else. But I thought it was great, and I really hope this they push Alistair Black to the moon because he's talented.
He should be.
So yeah, very good, very great match. What did you think?
3 1/4. I don't think it's quite 4, but it's a great way to start off Alistair Black's singles career in WWE.
Yes. And push Cesaro too because I've been saying that
match was awesome.
Yeah, I've been saying that for years, but
everyone else agrees with you too.
Yeah,
including me.
Then Carmelo and R-Truth were backstage, and they basically changed around the flyers where instead of looking for R-Truth, he was looking for Drake Maverick so he can win the 24/7 title, which I don't know why they don't incorporate that on the pay-per-views. It seems to only be a Raw and SmackDown thing, but, whatever. Whether it's, do skits or have a match with it, or whatever. And then Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss walk out, and R-Truth is asking, where Drake Maverick is. And Alexa Bliss tries to trick him to go into the women's locker room, and he was actually about to go into the women's locker room, which was funny. And then Carmella, says, "Come on, you got to get away from the storyline because it sucks." So R-Truth ran away. It's funny too because R-Truth thought that Alexa Bliss was Carmella. That was funny. And then Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross stink up the joint with their storyline because Alexa Bliss gives Nikki Cross, one of her T-shirts that's all torn up and stuff because Nikki Cross likes that type of stuff. And then the Street Profits saved the day. They came up and basically explained the whole storyline, but they were confused that they were going to have Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross share a championship because the Street Profits said that they would never have done that if they were going for a world title in NXT. Which I just love it because they're basically explaining all the flaws in the WWE storylines pretty much. So, and they're still the NXT Tag Team Champions. So it looks like the Street Profits are going to still stay in NXT. They're basically going to have they're basically having the Kevin Owens schedule that he had when he got called up, where he still worked his NXT dates while he was on the main roster. So there you go.
And they don't need to wrestle yet either because the gimmick is so entertaining.
Yeah, they don't even need to wrestle. So this gimmick's, this segment was a thumbs up. It'd be 2 thumbs up, but Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross's lame storyline kept that other thumb from going up. So yeah, it's unfortunate. But what about you? What'd you think of this backstage segment?
I love the shit that do the 24/7 championship. I've been a big fan of it from the beginning. especially with R-Truth as being champion, hysterical.
Now Drake Maverick.
Drake Maverick being champion too. My God, it's hilarious. But Street Profits save it at the end.
Yes.
As they have been doing recently with their segments, which, from what I read, are like the one leading up to. It might have been the Monday before Extreme Rules or 2 weeks before, and they were hyping up the show. Completely unscripted, completely like all on them.
There you
so
go.
I mean, the promos seem like natural at least.
Yeah.
But they saved it, so I mean, gets a thumbs up.
Then we have the SmackDown Women's Championship match, 2-on-1 handicap match, Bayley defending against Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss.
It sucked.
Pretty much. The match wasn't technically bad. It's just, how could anyone care about anyone in this match? Alexa Bliss and Bayley's character are very stale because they've been doing the same thing since 2015. So they need a character change like bad. Alexa Bliss needs to go face, which it looked like they were going in that direction, and then they decided not to.
I keep saying this, like, every time, like, fucking Christ, and not, like, her gimmick is so, like, it's stale. It's like, it's been the same thing since she turned heel in NXT. She gets a 2 count. She screams.
Yes.
The ref says, stop punching her, kicking her in the corner or whatever. She screams, I know!
Yep.
I'm like, all right, you've been doing this for fucking 4 years now. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
It's like, she's so stale. It's the same thing every time.
And then Bayley, same thing. Everyone will make fun of Bayley saying, that she's not the person that she says she is, and then they end up getting proven wrong. And then Bayley, it's just been doing the same thing since 2015, even longer than that, 2014.
Yeah, since NXT, pretty much.
So yeah, that's not good. Nikki Cross is not the character she should be at all. Like that crazy Nikki Cross from NXT, it's like doesn't exist anymore.
It's like bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, but still,
like it shouldn't be what it is.
No. So yeah, and then I did like the double submission Bayley did, but other than that, this match was just filler. And of course they went the predictable route where Bayley just won, and we know what's gonna happen now. They're doing the breakup, and they're gonna try to give a sympathy for Nikki Cross, to which I'm gonna say, how should we feel sympathy for that she was turned on by Alexa Bliss? People warned her about this for weeks, and she didn't see it. So it's like, no, that's not Kevin Owens. Christian.
If they did it the other way around.
Yeah, because when Kevin Owens turned on Chris Jericho, yes, he was warned about it, but he wasn't warned every fucking week. He was warned like sporadically, and even Jericho, they even had instances where Jericho smartened up a little bit. But here it's like you could say because Nikki Cross is crazy and doesn't see it that way, but if you get warned enough time that someone's gonna turn on you, I would think you would think there's gonna
be.
Yeah. Like Nikki Cross in NXT wouldn't have bought this shit. She would have seen this. She was the one that knew who attacked Alistair Black. So it's like, come on.
Very beginning.
Yeah. So it's like, Nikki Cross is smarter than this. Plus, how did she go from being crazy, like a little bit less crazy in the span, of January to, May? So it's like that shit just don't just come out okay in a month.
Yeah.
So
it should be Alexa Bliss turning face. Honestly, it should be.
Yeah.
Because in real life, she's a legitimate nice person.
Yes.
Which is completely opposite of what her character is.
I know, yeah. Then, we had so I gave this match, I gave it 2, just filler. So, 1.
It was awful. I barely even watched any of it.
Who would? Then we had.
I literally went into a new tab on my computer and was looking up. I don't even know what the fuck I was looking up, other than watching that match because it was awful.
Yeah. Was this when that Pat McAfee thing happened, or was that after that? You got hit with a candlestick.
I think it might have been at the beginning of the show.
Then we had the last man standing match, Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. As I see Lashley come out more and more every week, I'm assuming Leo Rush is just completely out of the game because
nobody even knows. Honestly,
he's technically still signed under contract, but yet I'm guessing him and Lashley are just done now, which sucks for Bobby Lashley because he's got to do the promos and he's not good at those. But whatever. This match was great. I think this match might have been my favorite match on the whole show. They try to make it seem like, I even kind of loved it because the commentators were trying to hype up like Braun Strowman might not be here tonight. He's got injuries, and before they could even finish the sentence, he just showed up and came out, which was kind of funny. So I was like, oh, I guess there goes that. He's like, I could just picture Michael Cole being like, oh, there goes that, and then throwing the piece of papers up in the air just because he came out right before he was gonna say what the injuries were. Like, but Braun Strowman attacks Bobby Lashley, before the match even starts, which kind of doesn't make any sense at all because in a last man standing match, you don't need to wait to get into the ring to start the match. You can just, if it's falls count anywhere, you can just win the bell outside the ring. But the referee's like, we gotta make sure these guys are ready, guys.
They gotta make sure they're ready.
Yeah,
they gotta be ready.
In a last man standing match where there's no rules, and then Strowman dominates early. He does his run and tackle, around the ring. But then Lashley hits a spear on the outside. But Braun Strowman gets up from it because they weren't going to end the match in 3 minutes. That was just not going to happen. Bobby Lashley then clotheslines him into the fans. They fight up to the concessions area. To which we saw Strowman laid out, but we didn't know what happened because it took a while for them to get a camera guy back there. And Bobby Lashley threw him into one of those standing posts that you see in the arenas. And then Strowman hit a suplex into the merchandise table, which you can totally tell that's a set up merchandise table because the merchandise tables don't look like that in real life. So, and then they fought back to the ringside. Strowman hit another running tackle while he was into the fans. And Bobby Lashley got up from it. Lashley speared Strowman through the barricade, and Strowman got up from that. And then Lashley threw him over the, I believe it was the German announce table, and tipped over the German announce table onto him. But Braun Strowman just, got up underneath it. I thought it would have been more impressive if he had picked up the table and, got up that way, but they weren't feeling it, I guess. Then they fought into the crowd again on the other side of the arena. Braun Strowman threw Lashley over the international announce table right onto the Japanese team, and
Funaki
actually took the bump, so that was pretty cool. And then Lashley got up from that. I actually kind of think it would have been interesting too to watch it from hearing them on commentary too. Because obviously they were the ones that were in the, bullet point of it and stuff.
Yeah. I actually flipped over to the Japanese announce team for a second, and you could hear them struggling to get the sound back and everything.
Yeah. So, and then they fought up to the crowd, and Braun Strowman power slammed Lashley off the crowd, and they had this platform set up that they all fell into. And the ref, at first, I thought they were just going to do a no finish because the ref didn't count calling for the medical attention. I'm like, he's got to count. They're not going to do this. And he counts, and Braun Strowman breaks through the other side of it. Which was
the box where the crash pad was.
Yeah.
And you could see that actually they kind of spoiled the finish, kind of. Because after Braun did the move, you could see Braun wiggling his way to get to that front of that the box.
Yeah.
Instead of doing the move and then taking the camera away, you could see that Braun no sold the move being hurt or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Weird.
But yeah, Braun Strowman wins, which makes sense. But like I said, is Braun Strowman going to actually benefit from this win? We don't know that yet because
push him push him again. So
Yeah.
And he just signed a new 4-year extension, so.
Oh, so he's definitely getting a push because, they typically push people who just sign new contracts. So, this match was great. I thought it was the match of the night. I thought it was just a very awesome car wreck. I gave it 4.5. What about you?
I agree. It was 4 stars. It was awesome.
Yes.
Like, it definitely did start out a bit slow, but like once they started going into the crowd, that's when like it started to pick back up.
Yes.
And there was one spot that kind of missed was when Lashley actually tried to jump off the barricade. It was when he ran across and tried to jump onto the barricade, and then tried to attack Lashley that way, but he slipped and almost fell.
Yeah.
But that would have been like sick if he stuck the landing on the barricade.
Yeah.
And then jumped onto Lashley, and then Lashley caught him.
That
and,
was awesome.
Strowman caught him.
Then we had the club get interviewed, and Charlie Caruso is like saying, because AJ Styles failed to win the title, that's why he turned on him. AJ like shuts that down quick and said, "I just joined up with these guys because they're my boys. We're
birthday
brothers."
too.
And they say he's gonna win the U.S. title for his brothers. They do like the too sweet symbol, and he says, "Charlie, get in here." And he's like, she tries to get in there, and AJ's like, "No, get out of here, get out of here." It was funny.
How dare they do that to her on her birthday, nonetheless?
I know, yeah. How dare they? I loved it. That was awesome.
But it's her birthday.
And they didn't know that. Apparently, they didn't know that. So.
How dare they? It's her birthday. I didn't know either.
I mean, they didn't say it then, but yeah. All right, then you get to cover this match, the SmackDown Tag Title match between, the new Daniel Bryan and Rowan defending against Big E and Xavier Woods and Heavy Machinery, because this won you the predictions. So
it did. It definitely did.
Because I
won it via a tie.
Because I was winning the predictions up until this point. This was the crucial match right here because I'll just say it.
You picked the Revival and I picked the Usos.
Yeah, but in this match I picked the new Daniel Bryan and Rowan pitting and Heavy Machinery, and you picked Big E and Xavier Woods pitting Heavy Machinery. And I want to make sure I say that because if Heavy Machinery had taken the fall in this match, I'd be champion right now. Yeah. But break down the match.
That other match actually was very crucial.
Yeah.
That's the Raw Tag Team Championship match was crucial to this predictions because it could have changed.
Yeah.
Had the New Day pinned Heavy Machinery, I would have lost.
Yeah.
But this match was great. This is a really, really good triple threat tag team match. I don't like it's. We're doing this now when it's Thursday. I don't even fucking remember half of the show. But yeah, I'm stopping. There's a few parts that I remember. But Otis, of course, he does the caterpillar.
Gotta do that.
He's gonna do that caterpillar. That caterpillar was awesome.
Yeah.
There's actually one hilarious part where Otis goes for a dive on the outside. He sees like he's gonna go for a dive on the outside, and then he runs the ropes and gets to the ropes and stops, and then gets out and goes on the apron and jumps off the apron onto them. I thought that was hilarious. But the Heavy Machinery get all their shit in. They hit the compactor on Big E, and that doesn't get them the win. They go for the Tower of Doom spot on Rowan on the top rope, and but Bryan tags himself in, and they do the suplex on Rowan, which was like it could look like it could have broken the ring, honestly, but it didn't. It didn't break it. Bryan gets his shit in, and
I actually loved this part too. He like does the label lock, and Big E's not tapping. And he like stretches like Big E, like arm out and stuff. Yeah, and I actually got into it here because I actually thought Bryan was winning it because this would have won me the match too. It had the new Daniel Bryan.
Either way. But it was more and more he's been a heel. It's like he hasn't done this stuff when he didn't do this stuff when he's a face, like the transitions.
Yeah.
Like he'd go from the lapel lock or the S lock to the he grabbed his other arm into like a Rings of Saturn, and then he transferred out of the Rings of Saturn and grabbed Biggie's leg so he couldn't put it on the ropes. Like the more like unique, like different variants of a submission move to get Biggie to tap out.
I even loved it too because of the triple threat match too. Getting to the ropes like didn't say like Biggie had to like go under the ring like really.
He had to go underneath the ropes to break it up because it's there's no rope breaks.
Yeah.
Bryan, gets some more of his shit in. Tries to go for a moonsault. Biggie catches him. Big ending. New Day wins.
Yeah.
I give this match 3.25, almost 4 stars. It was really, really, really good match, and it won me the predictions. So it almost gets a 4-star rating for me.
I gave it 3.5. Yeah, I thought it was real good. And it seemed like the Daniel Bryan the new Daniel Bryan anyways, because gotta make sure you get that in there. He doesn't love it when you just call him Daniel Bryan anymore.
He's new.
I wonder if his wife
new.
I wonder if his wife had to call him that at home too. Every time they have a conversation. I wonder if he's like forcing Birdie to say the new dad instead of just dad. Like
I was talking with my husband, the new Daniel Bryan, the other day.
Yeah, maybe he has like I said like earlier in the video about somebody else. Maybe he's got like a microchip in his head. At any time his wife just says Daniel Bryan, he like calls her up. He's like, what did you say? Like
that's the new Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. Notice too, he always calls himself that in third person too. Like, like I bet too. Like anytime him and his wife have a conversation, he's like, so the new Daniel Bryan's gonna go to the store today and get some vegan milk, and the new Daniel Bryan, like every time he doesn't just do it, like he does it multiple times in a sentence. The new Daniel Bryan,
because he's the new Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
After this, they basically like I don't know if they showed it right afterwards, but he on WWE.com there was an exclusive where he said he was going to make a career-altering decision on SmackDown.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what that is. Like, hopefully it's not retirement. Hopefully it's not retirement, but
spoiler alert, it's nothing.
We'll see. But then we had then backstage the New Day was celebrating, and then Paul Heyman shows up and basically says the same promo, saying Brock Lesnar could be here tonight to cash in the Money in the Bank contract, or he might not be. So I don't think anyone was buying it, but wait till the end of the review. So, then you get to talk about this match too, because your boy Ricochet's in it. The United States title match, United States champion Ricochet versus AJ Styles with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
This I'll say this before I go over this match, just the quality of matches that they've had recently. And they've had a match a long time ago also on the Indies. It's phenomenal. No pun intended, but just two of the best workers in the business today in, putting on a phenomenal match.
Yes.
And this no exception here. This match was awesome. Before the match can get underway, though, the Good Brothers attack Ricochet right out of the gate before anything else happens. They beat him down. Ricochet recovers, and he wipes him out at ringside. Back in the ring, there's just a lot of good counters and exchanges, and just really good opening start. Styles hits Ushigurushi at one point on Ricochet, and Ricochet sells it like a fucking champ.
Because he was a champ.
Ricochet, in his selling ability, if he makes it looks like it hurts times about 1,000. It's awesome. At the end of the match, Anderson goes for an interference, but he gets a kick for his trouble, and he gets knocked off the apron. Ricochet, I forget what Ricochet was going for, but Gallows knocks him down, I think. Yeah. and then Styles Clash from the second rope, and 1, 2, 3, AJ Styles is your new United States champion.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It's fucking phenomenal. I can't go over everything. Just watch the goddamn match. I said it before. With matches with AJ and Ricochet in them, just fucking watch them.
Yeah, this match was...
We really can't go over every little thing that happens. But just watch the match. I give it 3.5 stars.
Yeah, I think it took a while. I think it took a little while for it to get going, so I would agree. I give it 3 3/4. And I really love that Styles Clash, though. He hasn't done that version of the Styles Clash since TNA in 2013.
Yes, he used to do that a lot in TNA,
yeah.
But he hasn't done it at all in WWE.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of people now, which I typically would agree with them, but I'm not going to agree with them here. I'm going to sound like a WWE mouth, but if you've watched my past few videos, I haven't been that way, considering the fact that there's been no WWE main roster coverage at all, so you can't call me that. So, I was saying that Ricochet now is getting buried because he lost the title, which is kind of like bullshit, because Ricochet, other than like a little hiccup, has been used fairly well on the main roster, and then he lost. This is just the typical fan. He lost the championship, and now everyone's overrating it. It's not like he lost the title in like a squash match to Enzo Amore or No Way Jose. He lost it to AJ, and plus AJ Styles couldn't lose. He just turned heel a month ago. So.
They're just trying to build the stable back up again as a dominant faction.
I just have a feeling the fans were just going to complain regardless. If AJ had lost, the people would be saying now they're burying AJ Styles. So this was like a double-edged sword with no matter what the fans were going to say. So
yeah, exactly.
They would have said, because then they would have said, why turn AJ heel and reform the club if AJ Styles is going to lose? But in this case, everyone was just kind of like, why is Ricochet being buried? Which kind of isn't really, because it's not like he got chopped out. They put on a competitive match.
Yeah, they put on a really good match.
Yeah, so plus do a ton of story here. They still have to have the blow off match and stuff too. So
yeah, but this feud's far from over though.
Yeah. Imagine it ended next week. Now just forgot about it now. Because you never know, that can happen on the main roster. The feud can go on and then it's just over next week. So all right, now you get to talk about Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler, because you said you wanted dibs on that one too.
This is if you don't think he's the new Stone Cold, this just changes everything. It's literally, the time for it is 17 seconds. The bell rings. Dolph Ziggler talking shit. Owens hits him with a fucking stunner. Boom. And it's done. The in-ring action was about, maybe, give or take, about 5 seconds.
Yeah, I don't even think they even had a lockup or anything. It was just stunner and then done.
Talk shit, stunner, 1, 2, 3, match was over.
Yeah.
Just great. I mean, it's building up Kevin Owens as this badass, which he was supposed to be before they inexplicably turned him heel to feud with Kofi.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Brian came back the next week.
I know.
He literally came back the next week. So, it was 2 weeks later. So, he had 1 week of being a full-time heel again.
Yeah.
It just made no fucking sense. So, they did the correct thing in that reverse course and just trying to back babyface again.
Yeah.
What he was supposed to be beforehand.
Yeah.
But he cut another fucking pipe bomb again, which he's been doing recently, and they're fucking amazing.
We should mention too, on his Twitter, he did a big picture of all the people that are not on the show because of Shane McMahon. So that was funny. Because some of them were people that aren't even on the roster or not even wrestling at all too. So that was funny.
Yeah. It's just I don't. This doesn't even really deserve a star rating. But it's just a stunner and a pin.
Yeah.
But again,
it
puts over Kevin Owens as kind of this new and I'm reading this online, but they're trying to make him a newer version of Stone Cold.
I can see that.
And you could, like, over the past number of weeks, you can see it by his promo.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I love his character. I love the direction it's going in. But I don't think this deserves really a star rating.
I give it 3 just because it's a match, and that's fair because, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Plus, Dolph Ziggler got squashed, which I love that. That was awesome. Dolph Ziggler got jobbed the fuck out. So
I knew you would love that.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to admit, like, Dolph Ziggler's like crap though in 2019. Like, he's shit. Like,
I like the premise of his feud with Kofi. Like, it should have been him. Okay, it should have been you, but it could have been anyone else. It should have been Ali. But
yeah,
it wasn't.
Let's talk about that real quick. That's kind of a missed opportunity that they didn't go have Ali turn heel instead and, feud with Kofi for the title because it should have been Ali all along. And I feel like WWE kind of missed an opportunity with that. Like, have Ali. I know Ali's technically not like
either.
Huh?
I don't think he wants to be a heel either.
Yeah, but he could be like a baby face and just be upset that, Kofi took his, because he kind of took his spot. So it's
he did.
But anyhow, so I loved it because, like I said, fucked off Ziggler. And I love the new Kevin Owens. The one thing I just got to say is if him and Shane McMahon have a match, he has to win. I don't care if you say, well, he can always, lose and then get... No, he's got to win match 1. If he loses match 1, then this babyface one is a flop. So...
Yeah, I don't think... I mean, the way that they're going with it and slowly pushing Shane off of television, I don't see him... I don't see Kevin Owens losing at SummerSlam.
Yeah. I'm just saying, though, like, if Kevin Owens doesn't beat Shane match 1, then his babyface one will, like, Because look at The Miz. He lost match 1, and then, look at, I'm just saying, like, he lost at WrestleMania, and The Miz's babyface one, like, took a big hit after that. So,
yeah, it killed it. He should have won at WrestleMania.
Yeah. All right, then Samoa Joe gets interviewed, and I'll just say then he has a match with Kofi and loses. This ties in because he just talks a big game and then loses. So, I know it's like, because the context isn't important if you lose. So, the match with Kofi, I'll just say, was pretty good. I didn't like how he hurt his middle finger. But then I kind of asked myself when Kofi can't just beat him with the Trouble Paradise and lost. I was just kind of like, what was the point of the match? All they did was just have Samoa Joe come out and just lose. So, really wasn't a fan of that. Like Kofi's reign as champion, though. I think Kofi Kingston's been booked very well, actually, as a champion. Because typically,
excellent.
He never loses. He's still over with the fans. And, I'm not, sick of it yet. He's probably going to have to lose it at SummerSlam. Because I think if he holds it past SummerSlam, I think people will start to get sick of it. But, I think the only thing, that's hurt Kofi is his feuds are all him. Wouldn't have done it, if it wasn't for the New Day, which is kind of like he beat Daniel Bryan clean at WrestleMania, and it wasn't like the New Day it helped, but he got over himself in that gauntlet match.
Oh yes, big time. Even in Elimination Chamber too.
Yeah, and to which I always say, he would have been champion years ago before the New Day, before Big E and Xavier Woods were thin in WWE. If it wasn't, for him, for Randy Orton getting pissed off at him. He would have been champion years ago.
Yeah.
And then, so it's like, that needs to stop. I also think, and this typically happens with the underdog champion. When they win the title, that thrill of chase is gone. So I think that's kind of with Kofi right now. Like, he's the champion. But, now that he's the champion, that thrill of the chase is gone. So typically with the underdog champions, once they get the title, then the thrill kind of comes to an end. Now we got to get to a title afterwards. So
yeah, but at the same time, Kofi's so over.
Yeah,
he's so popular that he's interesting as a WWE champion.
But yeah, he's winning he's won all of his matches.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they built him up stronger than they ever have in the past 10 to 12 years that he's been on the main roster.
Yeah.
This is the strongest he's ever looked in his fucking career.
Yes. And his title, speaking of title wins, everyone loves Seth Rollins' Universal title win at WrestleMania. winner take all match. Last chance for. I mean, now it. So think about it too. The match means nothing because now Baron Corbin can have another Universal title match technically now with the show. Because technically Baron Corbin couldn't have another title shot against Seth Rollins, but now the stipulation means nothing to Baron Corbin considering how the show ended. But we'll get it. Screw it. We're not building nothing because they ruined it. The match sucked. If you don't know who was in the match, just go look up the card. It's.
I think the match is. I mean, it's got some nice spots in it.
Yeah, it largely sucks though.
Yeah, I mean, but the table spot with Seth and Becky doing they moves to the table was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Fucking Becky taking an end of days though was interesting.
We should talk about that too because everyone's raging about that now too, and they're trying to make it seem like that's like a big deal, which men and women violence is a big deal, but then you see like Becky and Lacey like whipping Seth and Corbin with like chairs and kendo sticks, and they like Baron Corbin hit a wrestling move that like Becky Lynch. I mean, it's not like he even hits the move. It's like Becky Lynch kind of helps him hit the move, so it's like, it's annoying.
Did you see Becky's forehead though?
Oh yeah, it was brutal.
With that, do you know what happened? Do you know how it happened?
What was that?
When at the beginning of the match, when they had the chairs.
Oh yeah, it's got hit in the head.
When Becky hit Lacey with the chair, and Lacey's chair flew up in the air because apparently she couldn't hold on to a fucking chair.
Damn.
The top end of the very top of the chair hit Becky right in the forehead.
Yeah.
Like,
and then
fucking fault.
I really got into the match once. Becky got hit with the end of the days because then Seth lost it. Like he lost it. Like
that was insane.
He beat
that like I was like, holy fuck! You could see the look in his eyes. Like that was the most intense he's looked in a long, long time.
And then, unfortunately, so he hits 3 stomps and wins. And Seth Rollins looked really intense. He looked really strong as a champion, to which it lasted all of 5 seconds. Because then Brock Lesnar came in, laid him out with the German suplexes, cashed in the Money in the Bank, hit the F5, and won the Universal Championship. So let me just take you guys through this. WrestleMania, Becky Lynch won a winner-take-all match in the main event, and then they threw that match away because she lost the SmackDown Women's title at Money in the Bank.
In their first title defense, by the way.
Yeah, with both belts. Then Seth Rollins, which makes his title reign really pointless now, because everyone, I feel like, couldn't get it. And I'm just talking about my experience. Once Brock won the Money in the Bank back, and I was even thinking, like, once Seth won the Universal title, I'm just kind of like, Brock's going to get it back eventually. And once he won the Money in the Bank, it was pretty much a formality that was going to happen, because once Brock Lesnar came out and won the Universal title, Seth Rollins' Universal title reign was largely pointless now.
It's so insanely frustrating.
Yeah.
It's just like, I've ranted enough about this. I mean, their ticket sales went up for Monday night, but that's just because of the shock change that happened at the end of the night. But it's completely unnecessary, because now did you hear on the show that people chanting that they wanted Brock to cash in? Those same fucking people are going to be hating him when he doesn't show up for 3 months.
Yeah.
And Paul Heyman just comes out every week saying, Brock will defend it whenever he wants to for 3 fucking months.
Yeah.
We're not going to see him. After SummerSlam, if Seth doesn't win the Universal Championship back, you probably won't see him until fucking Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Or maybe, I don't know, but that's just my guess.
And everyone's going to say this, it's going to boost the ratings up. I'm just going to say this, go back to December last year when Brock was the champion, the ratings were the same. I'm just saying they were the same.
They were down. They were worse. Because no one wants to see Brock fucking Lesnar as WWE champion, or Universal or WWE champion anymore.
Yeah.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah, basically. And I'll just say this too, we talk about the reign of Cena with his reign at the top and the reign of Triple H. I think nothing's worse than the reign of Brock. Like the Brock Lesnar's reign of terror has just been.
The reign of terror was awful, and John Cena's reign. I mean, I loved him at the time, but like, he was he was a clear-cut guy when he was a champion for that long in that time period. He was the guy. They always went to him. And the ratings, they were better than they were now. But he could have let a few people win back then, especially like after Bryan had won.
Yeah.
At SummerSlam. Like, it was time. But it's like Brock's reign's been like awful. It's been like,
yeah, no one
like it's been killing the ratings.
Yeah.
Like, at least when Triple H's Reign of Terror happened, the ratings were like still at an all-time high.
Plus, we had SmackDown. That was awesome at the time too.
SmackDown was great. Raw was great. At least, like, Triple H had like capable baby faces to go against.
Yeah.
He had likes of like Rob Van Dam and even at the end in 2004 against like Shelton Benjamin and even like Chris Benoit and Shawn Michaels. Those awesome matches that he had with Shawn Michaels. And from like early to mid 2000s. Early to the mid 2000s, but this reign's been terrible. Like, it's just what no one wants to see. No one wants to see this.
Yeah, especially too, Vince is just in the panic mode because of the ratings, and a lot of people won't admit this, but I think it's a little bit because of AEW. I think Vince is panicking a little bit because AEW is starting to catch steam. So,
and once we get to October, in just 3 short months, they're going to be going live on TNT.
Yeah.
If WWE doesn't shape up, it's not going to be the end, but they're going to be pulling in some really, really, really bad ratings.
Yeah, especially with AEW, because everyone's just going to say now, like, I don't need to watch Raw and SmackDown now that I have AEW. So
yeah, I mean, the ratings are going to go down and down if they don't make the necessary change that they need to make. I don't think, personally, Vince McMahon needs to step down. I think he needs to lose a little bit of power. And I think now just a little bit of a spoiler, Eric Bischoff did not have his hands on this week's product. They said this Tuesday was going to be his first show, but it wasn't. It's actually the Tuesday coming up this week. But with Bischoff and Heyman coming in, you can see that Paul's fingerprints have been on the show, on Raw for the past number of weeks. You can see the emphasis that he's been putting on the show. And from what I've been reading, Ronda Rousey's return is inevitable, which also too should help in some ways.
Yeah, because Ronda Rousey and no one's really sick of her. So
yeah, I mean, she can be bland at times, but I'm never going to deny the fact that she's a draw. She was a draw for this company when she was in that time period.
And Brock's not a draw. Brock's not really a draw anymore. Like,
definitely not. I mean, it's to the point where people are just not putting on USA Network anymore.
Yeah.
It's just to the point where, we know Brock's not going to be here tonight. What's the point of you watching him? We're not even going to see the champion. And the people who go to the shows, they're like, oh, what's the point of going? I'm not going to see the Universal Champion anyway.
So yeah, he was probably on Monday. I think he's going to be on next week because it's the Raw reunion show.
He was on Monday. He was in the opening segment on Raw.
Yeah.
But
he'll be on next. He's definitely going to be on next week.
Reunion for sure. I wouldn't doubt that. But then what's the next time you're going to see him? Go home show to fucking SummerSlam?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I get it.
I mean, also
schedule. Vince fucking takes it from you.
Yeah.
He fucking takes it, like, fucking without a fight. Fucking bends to your rules. Or else you'll fucking go and threaten to go to the UFC again. And then Vince will throw even more money at you.
Yeah, exactly. Especially too because they could even if it can't be on every week, I've suggested just pre-tape like a bunch of like vignettes or video packages of him training or something, just so that way he's on the show at least.
I know, yeah, just so he's on the show.
Yeah, and then you could counteract that because when he's not on Raw, he can just be on the pay-per-views at least every month. So there you go. But yeah, this is just now we're back to square one basically where we were earlier this year, where he's got to someone's got to take the title off him, and it's probably not going to be Seth at SummerSlam.
I honestly don't even know.
Yeah,
like are they gonna? Is it Matt Riddle? I don't know.
I doubt it's gonna be Matt Riddle.
I'm just saying that because he wants to retire Brock, but
that's not happening.
I just don't know.
Yeah,
is it Roman? Does Roman come to Raw and take the title? And I don't know.
No one's gonna like that too.
I mean, but you have to admit though, Roman's been getting such favorable reactions though now. It's way more. It's way more now than ever. He's way over now.
Yeah, I don't think anyone, but that big spiel. I don't know. I'm not interested in seeing Brock versus Roman again.
I'm not either. But who? That's just a name I'm throwing out there. Who else could fucking do it? Who else?
It can't be McIntyre now. He's lost too many times too. So.
Also, too, really wouldn't make any sense to turn McIntyre to a babyface right now.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Consider the fact that he's feuding with Roman Reigns and the Undertaker, and he's got his toes in multiple different things.
Yeah.
Who is it? They don't have anyone other than Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
The Miz? Is the Miz gonna win the fucking Universal Championship from him?
Not with his babyface one. So.
Who is it? It just blows my mind. They don't have anyone.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's Extreme Rules. Now we're gonna do the letter grades. I'm gonna start with you. Let's see where you go.
For a letter grade for the entire show.
Yep, entire show, preview, kickoff, everything.
I give it a solid B. I thought it's definitely not an A show. It's definitely not a B plus show, but it's a B show. It's a B minus show, but I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna give it a B. It's so far this year the best. Besides obviously Brock winning the championship, it was one of the better non-Big Four pay-per-views.
Yeah. I'm gonna go B minus. It was a B plus show up until the main event because the main event was trash, and then you had
I agree with that. 100%.
And then you have Brock, but the SmackDown Women's Title match that was trash, and then obviously too the cruiserweights again didn't make the main code when they really should have this time. So and then them consistently reminding us that Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch apparently are gonna break up. So we don't need to, and them consistently reminding us, that it was Charlie Caruso's birthday. That we need.
I mean, she got slapped on her birthday with the too sweet. It's their birthday.
But it still had some, it surprised me too because I, with all the AEW being the day before, I was expecting Extreme Rules to come in and be a crapshoot, but it wasn't. So that was nice. B minus. Enjoyed the, basically I enjoyed Alistair Black, Cesaro, enjoyed the SmackDown. I enjoyed both tag team title matches. I enjoyed Nakamura, Finn Balor, but the drawback I have a problem with is that, Finn Balor just randomly lost the IC title on a kickoff show. So that's drawback. That I enjoyed, obviously seeing the Undertaker. I made that pretty abundantly clear in that review, that match review. So and then, I enjoyed, basically everything on the show except the main event and SmackDown Women's Title match. Then the main event also shows, it was just kind of one way that the WWE could just really piss off the fans and really not give them what they want, too. So, I'm going B minus. So, there you go. Now, before we end off the video, we're not ending, we'll just be back later on. We have some additional news we're going to talk about. I feel like we should wait on the Bray Wyatt one because I don't know. Without spoiling Raw, because you haven't been able to talk about it yet, what are your thoughts on Bray Wyatt's new gimmick? Because you haven't been able to talk about it really yet.
Hard. It's hard to talk about it because you haven't watched it yet. But
all right.
But I would say It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. Just like it all culminated on Raw, and it's just really good.
Yeah, especially to I like how it's like, you know, taking shots at his old gimmicks and like backstage stuff, like you know, when Vince told him to lose weight as like, you know, the Husky Harris gimmick. I like how they took a shot on that one of the episodes.
The Muscle Man dance.
Yeah. And you know,
evil Vince, the devil Vince.
yeah, I love you know, the Fiend, and you know how he split, which that would be interesting to see what he does, like when he
Part of me thinks it's gonna be a split personality.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I would love to like him to bring the Firefly like Funhouse on like a live, like make it like a live, like, you know, talk show thing every week.
Oh, like what Jericho did with the highlights.
Just because that'd be cool. And I like to like you know, I feel like he should have been, you know, he should have even without even seeing, he should have debuted a little while ago, because, you know, I feel like, you know, I get they had like Easter egg things where you had to look for his puppets, but I feel like, you know, he should have debuted a little sooner. But I feel like too he should be the guy that dethrones Kofi for the WWE title. Like, he would that would be awesome. I made the suggestion, like, anytime he's like the Fiend, his Darko character, like, you know, anytime, like, he should like no one should ever really be able to get much offense on him. Like, he's destructive as that character. Which I think would be awesome. And, you know, if they actually go to it nicely, we could have a nice little match where it's, you know, the Fiend version of him versus Alistair Black at WrestleMania. Really keep them separated from each other, and then have the match happen at WrestleMania. Just, you know, the worst thing that could have happen to him right now is him lose again, because you know, and you know, it's not really solving, because, you know, basically it's not really solving the new character change. And, you know, one thing we got to point out, because Simon pointed it out in Wall Culture, the way they set up the video packages was pretty, like the commentators, where they were like laughing at them instead of acting like they were supposed to be scary. That was pretty bad. Like, Michael Cole would say, like, look at this, like, goof Bray Wyatt doing all this stuff. Like,
look at this goofball.
It's like, you're supposed to be scared of these. Like, and, you know, it's definitely interesting. But then, you know, we have another interesting weird character that's coming in, is this weird thing that's going on with Shelton Benjamin right now, where he'll get these interviews and then zone out, and looks like he's thinking about something else. It's really tough to really know what to think about these, because it's still in its introductory stage. I don't know what it is. If it, like, he'll have a match and then just zone out and laugh and then lose, that'd be funny. It's just really weird. Like,
it's very weird.
Like, he'll ask, like, who he thinks is going to be WWE champion, and then he'll just look and smile at the person. Like, if I was the interviewer, I'd be like, what are you laughing about? Like,
why are you looking around?
Yeah. It's...
Like, what type of drugs are you on?
Maybe, I think that could be something if they do it right. And then, you know, we got to talk about, though, a pissed off topic, though, that happened right before AEW went on the air. Nothing AEW related, but Mr. Jeffrey Neil O'Hoody was erected. I said
they erected a statue of him.
I meant to say erected for public alcohol, for being drunk in public, but I meant to say arrested, which is very sad. And I notice it just comes a constant pattern with Jeff Hardy. Like, anytime he's not wrestling, because didn't he get arrested while he was hurt last year too? Not for alcohol.
Why again? I was like a DUI.
Yeah.
He was found drunk in a stairwell.
Yeah. I mean,
literally passed out drunk in a stairwell.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just kind of like I mean, I don't really know what to say at this point, because, you know,
I'm just like, it's like, when is this gonna stop?
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna do it's gonna be a pattern. It's been a pattern through his entire life, his entire adult life. He's been on drugs or he's, had some form of, like, drinking arrest.
Yeah.
It's just, when's this going to stop? Like, when's enough going to be enough for him? He's in his fucking early 40s. When's he going to wake up?
And he's got, like, a wife and a kid at home and stuff, too. So it's like...
He's got 2 daughters. He's got a wife. Like, when the fuck is he going to wake up?
Yeah.
Like,
I can imagine.
To the point now where I saw that and I was angry.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you tried so hard to beat your drug habit, and you finally fucking beat your drug habit. It's not drugs anymore. It's alcohol.
Yeah.
You went from one to the other.
Yeah.
It's a vicious cycle.
Especially, too, it's like, you can imagine Matt Hardy's probably pissed at him now, too. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if his brother's pissed at him.
Huh?
I wouldn't be at all surprised. I mean, you haven't seen it on social media. He's probably said it privately. I wouldn't doubt for a second that Matt is absolutely pissed off at him.
Yeah.
Absolutely pissed off at him. I would not doubt that for a second.
Yeah. And then, so that's, like, the pissed off then. We're going to get happy and, talk about this, like, Mike Kanellis, Maria Kanellis storyline that has been happening, which, you like it more than me.
He's the cuck.
Huh?
He's the cuck.
Yeah, I don't like this at all. Just not making Mike Kanellis.
I don't know why I like it. I just do.
If you can't give a reason, I just don't like it because as I said, 205 Live spent like 8 months rebuilding his career, and the main roster ruined it in 2 weeks. So, and I just don't. Yeah, it's just makes him look like crap. I do think it's funny though, still, because I feel like Vince is doing this to kind of punish Mike and Maria Kanellis, because Maria Kanellis didn't tell them that she was pregnant before she signed her contract. So I think for some reason Mike Kanellis is getting punished for this though. Like, how does this punish Maria Kanellis? Because she's the one coming out good in this storyline. So I don't know what goes on in Vince's head. Because this is definitely like a Vince McMahon storyline.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because you could say it's a Paul Heyman one because he did like a storyline like this in ECW at one point, but I think this is more of a Vince storyline because it lacks direction. Because where is this gonna go either, too? Because they can't do anything with it for like 8 months because she's gonna get like fully pregnant and such, and it's like really weird because they're trying to make it seem like that Mike Kanellis didn't get her pregnant. She's like saying things like you're not man enough to get me pregnant when we already know that he's done it before. So it's like, and then she's like, there's half of the times. I will admit though, 205 Live, this just shows how great they are. They're able to adjust to it because Mike Kanellis is so good on the promos and stuff. He's actually like making it seem like his life's falling apart, and he's gonna utilize it in the ring. It's just once it gets to Raw, it's not good. Then we had so that's not good. The stuff with Drake Maverick and R-Truth is funny. With the 24/7 title.
It's better.
It just still would be nice if we could have. Why is it like only like the guys that like never get on television going after this title? Why is McIntyre not interested in this title?
I think for lower tier guys.
Yeah, but they should like show an interest at like getting the title, and the hardcore title, like Kane won it at one point. So why is they're
treating it like it's like lower mid card to like jobber level, like guys.
I also hate too that they never defend it like in a match or anything like that. That would be nice if they could do it once. Especially too because they keep saying it's going to be crossed all over the 5 brands when that's clearly not the case at all. Because I don't think Triple H wants any part of that, like NXT UK and. Because, it's not really made... Because NXT UK and NXT are more, like, serious programming, and I don't think they're going to really, cross it over there. Especially, too, it would hurt the guys, too, because, like, everyone in NXT is made to be strong. If they, win this title, they would have to just drop it anyways, so... Because they're not going on the main roster ever. Same thing, like, it gets talked about on 205 Live. Actually, funny thing is, since Maverick's the champion, he suspends the rule like the entirety of 205 Live, so no one can challenge him for it. You know, because I was kind of wondering like how can he be the GM if he's the champion? So, which is kind of cool. Which is kind of weird. Like that's one thing. Like why does the rule get suspended sometimes? Because it's the 24/7 championship. Like you shouldn't be able to. It kind of defeats the purpose of the title if you suspend said rule. Like, I could get like if you defended it in a match because that, but like why can Drake Maverick just say, yeah, I'm not going to defend it an hour, while I'm the GM? Like it kind of doesn't make sense at all. But then, yeah, I think that's, and then other WWE talk, Oney Lorcan and Alia Duvall had a fantastic feud in 205 Live, and they blew it off in a street fight. So that makes me think maybe Oney Lorcan's going to be like the next challenger to Drew Gulak's title, which I would love because they would put on a clinic match. Lorcan versus Gulak because the Gulak's because now they both have the same style where they're both like the brawling style. And then other 205 Live thins is the Brian Kendrick's like starting to feud with the Sin Brothers and Akira Tozawa, so that's interesting. And they really need to bring in cruiserweight tag titles because the Sin Brothers really don't serve much of a purpose if they're not going to have tag titles because they don't. Yeah. So that's plus two it'd be kind of nice to have cruiserweight tag titles because you can say it's too many titles, but if cruiserweight tag title 205 Live never shows up on Raw and SmackDown, so no one would really.
Now they have one title too, so it's like.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah. Like they would have to. I would open up the cruiserweight tag titles where they could be defended on all three brands, like NXT UK and NXT, because they have guys that could, team up that are in the division. Now, obviously, we have to be specific. What I would do, is they don't have to like the team, like just the people in the team have to be 205 like not like a total combined weight of 205 because then the titles won't work at all. Yeah, there you go. Well, that would be nice to have cruiserweight tag titles because you have Lucha House Party, you have Kendrick and Tozawa that are a team, the Sin Brothers, Britain, Undisputed Era, Strawn and O'Reilly because they're 205 Live. It can happen. I think it can happen. So, Lorcan and Birch because Birch is 205, I believe. So, you can build a nice tag team division. I believe. I think Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews, they're both 205, so that it just works. So, and it would be nice just because it would be a way to be exciting. Then maybe they won't. Then maybe people will watch 205 Live and they won't cancel it at the end of the year. Like it just seems like that's kind of what I'm more pissed about. Like WWE's not even going to try to save 205 Live, even if it does get canceled. It just feels like they're just fine with canceling it. Like why not try to make it so people watch it and not cancel it? So, but whatever. I think we basically talked about all the WWE main roster programming that I can think of.
We covered
save NXT and NXT UK for a different video because I haven't seen it in weeks. But yeah, we're not gonna wait. What?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen either of them in weeks either.
Yeah. But yeah, the video's not over though. We're gonna be back later on tonight. At 9:30, 9 o'clock ish. Are you definitely gonna come on at that time or?
I'm a maybe.
Okay. So you'll miss the AEW talk, which sucks for you, but it's just the only time the other people can be on. Yeah. So
whenever we do a next rundown, I'll just give my thoughts on it if I'm not on.
Yeah, or maybe do a big talk rundown, and you could just give a quick thought on each show because I feel like we should do a rundown talking about it because there's been 3 shows and you haven't been able to talk about any of them. So
yeah,
want to just do your plug?
Raw and SmackDown either.
Yeah, I won't be able to. I won't have time before I leave for Florida.
Yeah. I'm not talking anytime soon.
Yeah,
we basically covered all the storylines, but
yeah, I know.
Once I kind of in a way.
Yeah, once I come back from Florida, like I said, once I come back from Florida, my 2000 video goes up. Content will be more consistent than it's been. So
yeah.
So yeah, why don't you plug your stuff, because you do have 2 things to plug, and don't say you don't because it's in the description box. So
I know, yeah, just look in the fucking description box. I don't have to plug it.
I'll just say what it is anyways. It's his Twitter and Instagram. It's Chris Bruin Fan. What's the numbers? I forget them off the top of my head.
I always forget what they are.
All right, hold on, I'll look. Because they're both the same, right? I'll just go. I can just check your Instagram.
Chris D. Bruins Fan.
Okay, I thought you had numbers, but I guess you don't. I just thought.
You won't find me on YouTube, even though my YouTube is in the description. I don't post any videos on it, but it will just obviously just link you right to it. But
yeah, I see you just like. Yeah, I can tell because the funny thing is I could see you like something on Instagram fairly recently, so there you go. Yeah. But yeah, check out all of Chris's stuff. Because a lot of my channel's organized enough because all the stuff's in the description box, so that's nice. And that I'll be back later tonight, with Mike Nikos, Michael X, potentially Casey Gallagher, and James Hebert to talk about AEW. So that'll be fun. So yeah, there you go. So like I said, let's just keep in mind this show was a B-. Let's see if I grade AEW higher or lower. So we're gonna find out. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for this portion of the video. But Chris, you want to say goodbye because you probably won't be on later on tonight. So.
Bye.
All right. See you later tonight. At least I will. Okay, so now it's August 9th, 2019, and it's 10:13 p.m. at the time we're recording this video. And yeah, now I'm here with introduce yourself.
James the He-Man Hebert. If you're wondering why the timeline's so fucked up, basically, shit just kept happening, and there was not much we can do about it, so this is the day we're going to be doing it now. The reason why Mike, Casey, and Nikos is because I couldn't accommodate their schedules, so now it's just me. So
yeah. I'm gonna by the time you see this part of the video, you're gonna see that I made an intro video to kind of explain everything. So I'm gonna do that, probably tomorrow, All right. So there you go.
Late, and then you'll probably see a more updated version with every recent event that has happened in wrestling since. So don't worry, ladies and gents.
Yeah.
Did anybody else do a 205 Live NXT and NXT UK review with you yet, or no?
Yeah, so I did some coverage of NXT and NXT UK. I did like a big video on certain dates, and then this week me and Chris Mace on the rundown when we did our Toronto and SummerSlam predictions, we talked at some NXT UK and such. So everything's updated now. So
All right, cool.
So now we're here to review AEW Fight for the Fallen. And we're also going to talk about, AEW's TV deal now, since they finally have a date and stuff like that. I feel like we should talk about that.
August 2nd.
Yeah.
August 2nd is the
October.
date.
No, October 2nd.
I'm so stupid. Yeah, October 2nd, 2019. I'm so pissed because I can't go to the Boston event.
Yeah, but we will, and we should talk about a funny story that's on. If you've gone on Cody's Instagram, you're gonna see I got put on blast on that. But we'll talk about that in a second.
Wait, you got put on blast by Cody?
Not by Cody, by other wrestling fans. We'll explain that when we get to that.
Oh yeah, because you thought it was Thursday and not next Friday or something.
Yeah, I'll say that now. So the way he wrote his Instagram post, he wrote Boston. Plus, I was also just so antsy to get him because I knew because once you miss, because I know they go quick, so I didn't want to miss out. So the way I read his post, he wrote that they go on sale, like the Boston, and then he wrote a slash, and then I thought he meant the Philly ones go on sale next week. So the way he wrote his post was a little confusing because he wrote tickets on sale Boston/Philadelphia. So I thought he meant the Boston ones were on sale today and the Philadelphia ones were next week, but he meant both of them. But now I'm having a lot of comments that are calling me out saying, Owen, he literally just said next Friday with that emoji that goes like this with the face palm. So I'm being pretty much put on blast for that. So I kind of deserve it because I read his post one, and he literally wrote it in his post fairly clearly. But in my defense, I really don't have a defense, but I know these events go quick. I was just so antsy. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss out. So
Did you miss out?
no, they were on sale next Friday.
Oh, okay. So that it's not this Friday then. Good.
No, that's next Friday. So,
Right, cool.
which I'm excited about. That's why I will say I'm biased that I want Marty Scurll to go to AEW because I'll get to see him that day live. I mean, if he goes,
yeah, true, yeah, because his contract is almost up, isn't it?
Yeah. So if he goes to WWE, I think he would. If he goes to NXT UK, he'll be Udo's awesome.
He's gonna flounder.
Not in NXT, not in NXT UK, probably.
Not in UK, not in NXT, but definitely on the main roster. Don't go.
Oh yeah.
I can't even believe I have to say that. Like, I love NXT. I'm still watching, but like, you know what's bad when I'm telling you, anybody that is thinking of going to NXT, don't. They're filling you with lies. It is not like this on the main roster. It will never be like this on the main roster. It is only like this in their own developmental brand.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
Anyhow, that's a different topic. Let's get to the AEW Fight for the Fallen review. Now, I will give a warning. We still really like this show. However, we are going to do some critiques and rants. And we want to make this clear. We're not WWE. By the way, if you think James is a WWE mob, then you really need to check your play.
Then you have not been watching the show.
I can't even say.
The first opening line of me criticizing that freaking cesspool of an organization should tell you all that you need to know about how I feel about WWE as a whole.
I can't even say you and WWE Moke in a sentence without smiling, like literally. Like
it's not true. It's not true anymore.
And look, I still watch WWE, but in no means am I WWE Moke. You want proof? Lately on the channel, I haven't been covering much WWE main roster, so that should kind of tell you everything that you need to know right there. So
it's a fucking waste of time, and you're not missing much.
Yeah.
Because
so
you could literally miss a month of Raw and cover it quickly on the rundown. That's how ridiculous and how unnecessary it is to keep up day to day.
So, but we are going to give some critiques because there was some things that we noticed with this third show. This third show was still awesome, but it was definitely the worst of the three that we saw. At least I think so anyways. No, I'm making it sound like it was a bad show. It was an awesome show. It's just, there's some critiques we're going to make. And we're only doing these critiques because we want this to be very good competition and stuff to WWE and things. We want this to be good. So if we don't critique it, then they're not going to change anything.
And by the way, let's get all the critiques out of the way before we talk positive, because there are some critiques and they need to be addressed. And I'm going to start it off with the fucking critique. Alex Marvez, I'm sure you're a great guy. I have nothing against you as a person. But oh my fucking days, get off the goddamn commentary booth.
Yeah.
You are the... dude, now, I will say, as one slight positive, he did get better. But that's like, weigh half a pound of fucking mulch and weigh half a pound of shit and see a bit of difference. The mulch may be a little bit better, a little bit more digestible, a little bit more tasty, but it's still, at the end of the day, dirt.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It tastes gross. Your commentary is so bad, Marvez. You don't know what the hell you're doing. Clearly you don't. Now, I will say you look like less of a hostage than you did in the first go-around at Double or Nothing. Okay? This was a horrible job and on commentary by all three, and it's not even because of JR or Excalibur. It's because JR and Excalibur are trying to carry this fool.
Yeah.
On the booth. JR's too old for this shit. If anything, Excalibur and another young commentator should be carrying him. That way, it makes JR still look good.
Yeah.
And look like he's still one of the greatest of all time. You know where that was shown? Fighter Fest. Golden Boy was phenomenal over the booth. He was one of the best commentators that I heard other than Morrow in like the last 10 years. They should have hired that motherfucker. He knew how to commentate. Golden Boy was fantastic.
Yeah.
Marvez is terrible. He sounds so unenthused over every little detail that you're supposed to be enthused about, and he's covering it like it's a golf match. Like it's two people playing fucking golf. Bro, if you want to talk softly, go to golf. Nobody's stopping you. But if you think this shit's gonna pass over MMA or football or wrestling especially, you're out of your fucking mind. You have no idea what you're doing in any combat sport if you think that kind of commentary style is going to cut it. I'm sorry. That needs to be said. That's not me being too overly critical. It's the truth.
And I'll say
terrible here.
I will say, it's not like Alex Marvez can't have a role in AEW. Put him as a backstage interview. He's awesome at that.
Seriously, he was great as a backstage interview. Actually, I would have preferred that on this show.
Yeah.
Him on commentary, it was like, if you did not pay attention to a fucking word on commentary, the show was like 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
But because they were terrible, it's like a 7.5.
Yeah. I'm
serious. It made that much difference. Like, because the moments they should have been excited for, they were too busy carrying Marvez's ass.
Yeah.
To a decent commentary job, which, by the way, wasn't decent because of it.
Yeah. And then I will say, too, like, Alex Caliber, he was excellent on this show. I do think he needs to be better at, like, presenting the stories, but move by move, play by play, he's excellent.
Here's the thing. When Golden Boy was on, that was his job.
Yeah.
That was his job. He did great at that job. Excalibur was calling play-by-play, and JR was the great mix of both because he had two commentators to bounce off of. That's why I love the commentator for Fyter Fest so much, because the commentary there was, like, great. It would rival NXT's commentary, like, bar none. Now, they would lose, mind you, because nobody can, not even JR now. I'm sorry. You're out of your mind if you think JR now can put up a fight against Morrow. But maybe back then, absolutely, but not now. But, it's like, this is like, that commentary style sounded smooth. They knew what they were talking about. I understood the stories. I was able to follow what was going on in the ring because of the play-by-play on top of the story going on and everything. They knew what was going on, and it made the show, a free show, mind you, so good. And I didn't feel that way with the show because the commentary, for the most part, was not good. It just wasn't. Now, at the end of the day, it's a free show. I have worse things to complain about. And, at the end of the day, it's like, it's for charity. So, critiques aside, this has been a great show. But I'm critiquing it now, not because I'm trying to be an asshole, but because I want to see this show succeed on TNT. It's really hard to do that when you don't have a good commentary booth.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. You want any proof of that? Look at SmackDown 2016.
Oh, yeah.
Even with Morrow, was passable at best because they were carrying Otunga's stupid ass.
Yep.
And by the way, that's just on commentary. I'm sure David Otunga's a great person and his wife's an asshole for what he did to him, but he was terrible on commentary, and everybody knew it. Everybody called him out on it. And you can't have bad commentary, especially if you are trying to develop an identity different from WWE. If we wanted to listen to bad commentary, I would watch Monday Night Raw. I would listen to Monday Night Raw commentary.
Well,
that has to improve, and it needs to improve fast.
Yeah.
And if that means you need to get Marvez out of there immediately, get him off the fucking booth immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
Get Golden Boy instead. I'm telling you, Golden Boy will be so much better.
Oh, I agree, yeah. Because we know, I don't think JR, too, is going to be doing the commentary like week to week on TNT. There's just no way he can.
Absolutely not. No, he can only do the pay-per-views. And that's another thing. If he can only do the pay-per-views, that means you got to have a backup commentator immediately.
Yeah.
Like immediate. And the thing is, they have options. Call up Mike Tenay. Call up Taz. Call up somebody that knows what the hell they're doing. Give them a contract. Have them appear on TNT. I would. You have any idea how much I would love if you would hire like Mike Tenay or Taz and pair him up with JR or NX Excalibur? I would love that.
Yeah.
I'd lose my mind over that, or do the WCW method with when they were doing the cruiserweight matches and like have like Mike Tenay in the tag team role. Because remember, he was the wrestling encyclopedia back in WCW, so he's like he knew everything that was going on. Or make that Tony Schiavone's role. You now have Tony Schiavone at your disposal now that you worked out a deal with MLW. You have options here. You need to utilize them. You can't do Marvez. Marvez just cannot cut it. I'm sorry.
No.
In this case, experience is needed.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to go with any of those established names, you got Golden Boy. Get Golden Boy on the booth.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, get him on the booth. I'd much rather his voice than Marvez's I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm being held hostage voice.
Yeah. I mean, he's good at, like, mentioning the facts, but just put him as a backstage interviewer. That's really where he's best suited. So.
Yes. And even then, we're all elite wrestling. And that's another thing I want to point out, too. We're all elite wrestling. The name says it all there. Your identity is that you hire the elite, correct? Marvez is not an elite commentator. No. Marvez isn't even an elite backstage interviewer.
No.
He's not. You need a guy, and I cannot believe they didn't put him on this after his amazing job before Double or Nothing. Get Jack Whitehall, the comedian, the UK comedian. He was phenomenal. He was phenomenal as a backstage. Like one of those, those sit-down interview segments that Jack Whitehall did?
Yeah.
Hire him.
I thought I heard they did.
They should, because he's great. He's fantastic. Hire him. Make sure he takes care of backstage interviews and freaking sit-down interviews. Seriously, because he would be the closest modern-day Mean Gene Okerlund you would have. That's how good that guy is.
Yeah, he's great.
Have him take care of those roles. He's far superior to Alex Marvez.
Yeah.
Your name is All Elite Wrestling, so hire the elite in your show. Period. That means wrestlers. That means commentators. That means everything.
Yeah.
That they have elite wrestlers. They have an elite commentary team, except for Marvez.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, like that needs to be said. That needs to be said.
All right.
In everything else, but in commentary, I think.
Yeah. Now on to the show, because we have other rants, but we'll talk about them as the show goes on.
Yes.
But that was like the biggest rant we had to get out of the way because that's like all over the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had the buy-in. We already kind of said the commentary team, so there's no need now. We will say JR didn't do commentary for the buy-in, which makes sense. There's no reason for him to be on the buy-in. Maybe he didn't want to have to carry the whole show.
I gotta tell you, this is the best buy-in of the 3 shows.
Yeah, I would say so. I know. I like
the other. I mean, maybe Double or Nothing, maybe, but I think some of the stuff in the Battle Royal was way too goofy. So that's why I say this pre-show is probably the best pre-show they've had so far.
I think I like buying the Double or Nothing one a little bit more, but this one was really good. I thought this one was really good. It kicked right off with but I will say, either way though, because a lot of people kind of been debating this, I think the buy-ins are way better than the WWE pre-shows. I think I talked about
that's not even close. That's not even close. At least AEW has like stakes when it comes to this ranking system that they're doing, and even if that's the only thing, like that means stakes are on the line in every match.
Pretty much.
Even if that's not the case, like I remember the first pre-show match they ever had, the first buy-in match was to see who would challenge against whoever won Jericho and Omega.
Yeah.
And they would fight it all out. So there was huge stakes in the first buy-in match.
Yeah.
And
then
when you saw the second pre-show match guy, Kit Sabian, challenge the winner of the Battle Royal, that meant you would like, wow, maybe I have to pay attention to the buy-in. So they made the buy-in matter. They've always made the buy-in matter. However, what I will say is they contradict themselves when they have Nakazawa and Alex Bailey, or Sonny Kiss only doing one move throughout the whole match and doing a twerk, which we'll now get to Sonny Kiss here now, because he actually really impressed me. Actually,
yeah. So let's talk about that match. So the first match was Peter Avalon with Leva Bates versus Sonny Kiss. Peter Avalon, this was like the first time he's actually come out to like entrance music, and he doesn't have any. He just has shush on the Titantron, and that's it. I guess that worked.
I gotta tell you, this gimmick is such a horrible gimmick.
Yeah.
But I think that's the point.
I honestly think. Yeah, I think they know that too, because on Being the Elite, they even kind of address like this is go away heat, so they're gonna run with it.
I don't like that idea, man.
Yeah.
And the sad part is Peter Avalon's actually great in the ring, which we're gonna talk about, obviously.
Yeah.
But this gimmick is so trash.
I know.
And it's not like, oh, I want to see you get your ass kicked. It's just like go away. And
then you have Alex Malvez trying to play along because he's trying to be very quiet because they're supposed to be in a library, so he's like
going to library. No, Alex, that's not a gimmick with Marvez. What are you talking about?
I know.
All the time.
But especially here, he actually said it like here. So.
So he admits he's shit.
Yeah. But Peter Avalon goes to cut a promo, but he gets immediately interrupted by Sonny Kiss. And Sonny Kiss, I actually like to, on the buy-in, got like a special entrance. He came out. I keep almost saying she because I keep thinking it's a woman, which is probably disrespectful.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I got you. No, it's Sonny Kiss, trans. It's not. What is it called? Crossdresser? I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. Because I don't think
He impressed me. Like his entrance was actually really good.
Yeah, he came out with the Jacksonville Jaguars cheerleaders and the mascot. They actually had a
dance routine with them, and these two put on a really good match to kick off the damn buy-in.
Yeah,
and keep in mind, I was ready to write this off because I saw who was involved with Sonny Kiss. Keep in mind, I didn't know any of Sonny Kiss's work prior to Double or Nothing. I only saw the stupid twerk that he did with Tommy Dreamer, and that was it.
Yeah.
And with Peter Avalon, that debacle with, at Fyter Fest pre-show or the buy-in, god awful, man.
Yeah.
That was so bad. Honestly, I could not get into the match with Leva Bates because of it. Peter Avalon was ruining it for me too. But the thing about it is, here's the difference between Leva Bates and Peter Avalon. And I said this when Leva Bates was Blue Pants back in NXT. Leva Bates is better suited as a babyface, as a happy-go-lucky babyface, because she's great in that role because she can actually do the one thing she's good at, and that's do a shit ton of moves.
Yeah.
If you have not seen her work as a babyface, I highly suggest you look it up because she's actually really good at babyface. And she gets sympathy. And, when they were singing da, 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 the Price is Right theme that she had when somebody was humming that, she was over like Rover, right? So I think she should be something along the lines of that. This librarian gimmick just really doesn't fit her.
No.
Especially as a heel. Just any heel gimmick with Leva Bates just does not work. Peter Avalon, though, kind of runs with it because, it's still shit, but at least the dude can go in the ring as a heel.
Yeah. And I'll talk about that. So, Sonny Kiss really showed some nice athleticism in this match. Like, he was very athletic in this match, hitting a lot of splits, hitting a lot of drop kicks. Yeah. I will say I could do without the twerking. I could do, without And I probably sound like a hypocrite because Velveteen
No,
Dream.
no. Apparently, if you say that now, you're a misogynist now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like it. Well, actually, I can't even say that I don't because I know that that's the gimmick. So I actually don't mind it now. But it was the fact that it was his only move.
Yeah.
In the Double or Nothing thing. Like, okay, because we got to remember, Rikishi had the fucking stink face for crying out loud. But at least he did more than the stink face, and at least he was charismatic enough that it was like, okay, we've seen more development from this guy. I can roll with that. And people rolled with it. And people laughed, and it was, ha ha, good time. Same thing with Sonny Kiss here. So,
yeah.
Now that I know and I've seen his work, and I know he could do more than just twerking, I am very interested in the character that they're going with, and I'm very impressed with him in the ring. So,
yeah,
there you go.
So Peter Avalon dominates. He, works over the left arm of Sonny Kiss. He throws him out of the ring, and they're telling the story like, the librarians can't get along because Olivia Bates, instead of cheating by kicking him or anything, she just gently puts him back into the ring. And this distracts Peter Avalon long enough for Sonny Kiss to hit like a super kick, and then a really cool split right off the second turnbuckle.
That was nuts, actually. That was I could not believe how athletic he was to pull that off and pull it off safely, mind you, but still looked like it hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
that was a really cool move. It was for those who didn't watch it, think of Melina's legs sunset leg split, but from the top rope, and the guy's laying flat on his back on the canvas. That's what this move was, and it was a really cool finish, innovative finish, something we haven't seen before. And I was like, wow, because I remember we had this on mute. I'm like, and we were working on like a character for WYW. I kept glancing over, I'm like, yo, guys, Sonny can actually go, and they're like, what? And they're watching, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, wow, these two can actually wrestle.
Yeah.
Even Peter Avalon. Peter Avalon saw some great shit too. And then I even saw the entrance after. And I'm like, okay, all right, okay, I can roll with this. I can roll with it. If I can roll with Rikishi, I mean, I can roll with this. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I can roll.
It was actually not bad. This was not a bad way to kick off the buy-in. So
I thought it was good. I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was a good little match.
Yeah, 3 stars.
Yeah.
3 stars. It did its job. It got Sonny Kiss over.
Yeah. I honestly too. When we do our UN awards for AEW, when we do most, I forget what I call the award, but a match that exceeded expectations, this might win the award because.
To be honest, it really exceeded expectations.
Yeah.
Beyond belief. Like, I did not expect it to be this good. I didn't expect it to be good at all because I hadn't seen much of that work. So
yeah, so
never say never.
Then we had Kip Sabian's. Oh no, we didn't. We had the Brotherhood's interview. If you don't get the reference, Alex Marvez fucked up and said Kip Sabian instead of the Brotherhood. Because that was later on in the show, and Alex Marvez fucked up and said Kip. We're gonna hear from Kip Sabian, and then when they cut, it was actually the Brotherhood getting interviewed. So that's the joke. I know it doesn't make the joke funny, but I have to explain. But it's been a few months, like a month or so since.
I get it.
So
I remember that call.
The Brotherhood though get interviewed. Very good interview. They talk about the Young Bucks, and they say that they're going to prove why they're the best tag team in the world. And they said that they wanted to book this match just to see if they could test themselves against the Young Bucks because, Cody believes that the Young Bucks were the best tag team until he paired up again with his brother, and now he thinks they're the best tag team. And Dustin Rhodes is upset that the Young Bucks, have been joking around, making fun of that, whole mockery, when Cody embraced Dustin.
I loved, the funniest thing is, you could audibly see hatred steaming from, and I don't exaggerate that it was the similar hatred to what Jim Cornette had. These guys, you could tell in this interview he fucking could not stand them. He thought that they were pricks. He thought that they were making a joke of their actual like storytelling and all this. And this is, keep in mind, this is before they had the match and they proved him wrong and a lot of doubt is wrong. Yet again, as the Young Bucks typically. But, you know, it's because they're such good heels that they piss off Dustin a lot of the time. So, yeah.
Because he said he was going to
piss off guys like Dustin. So it's like, you know, once they get in the ring with them and then they actually start becoming baby faces and they actually give them real respect, then Dustin's like, oh, these guys are really, really cool.
Oh, what the hell?
What happened?
It's saying my computer needs to update. It says I can wait an hour, but I don't know.
Oh, shit. Are you serious?
Yeah, that's...
Well, you can't just say no, not until later?
No, I've been saying no too many. I can wait an hour.
Alright, wait an hour. We don't have a choice.
Hopefully, like, that just pops up again and I can hit wait now, but we're gonna keep going. Yeah, thanks a lot, computer. I finally get a chance to do this review when you're doing this shit. Anyhow.
Everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
Then you go.
But yeah, Dustin also says that, you know, he's gonna power slam the Young Bucks through the ring straight to hell. And the interviewer did ask Cody how he's feeling, because this was 2 weeks after he had gotten hit off the head with a steel chair by Shawn Spears. And I liked how he worked it into the, like, you know, building up this match where he says that, you know, you really want to hurt your worst enemies, but sometimes you want to use that aggression also on your best friends. Kind of, you know, dodging the question, but using it to kind of help promote the match. So I liked it. Very good interview here. Really enjoyed it.
And it also showed that there could be possible dissension in the ranks within the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Different, like the philosophies that both Dustin and Cody were going into this match with.
Yeah,
exactly. Great segment.
Then we had a women's tag team match. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Riho versus Shoko Nakajima and Bea Priestley. Nakajima's like the
match was actually really good, despite the little botch of Britt Baker. But at this point, I'm just gonna chalk it up to that was the concussion. So that's Bea Priestley, I was shocked to see, and I was so happy she got signed to AEW.
Yeah.
I remember when we were watching WCPW when it first aired, and Bea Priestley and Nixon Newell, better known by that point as, I forget what her name is. Oh, now her name is Tegan Knox. But her name back then was Nixon Newell, and Bea Priestley. They had a WCPW Women's title match in a no disqualification street fight match. And Bea and her kicked the fuck out of each other. And I was like, wow. She was good then. She's vastly improved since.
Yeah.
Holy shit, she's great.
And, you know,
I thought she was the star of this match.
Yeah.
Honestly. And
so
ironic because she's like one of the Stardom champions.
Yeah. I was going to say, Bea Priestley's the woman startup champion, and Shoko Nakajima's like some type of princess champion in another Japanese company. They might have lost him since
like
then.
A comical organization if I ever heard one.
Yeah.
By the way, so I had a shit Donald Trump pen.
You're gonna get a lot of hate for that. See, no,
actually, this was invented by that side just to make a fucking dick, or just to make him look like a dick, because he is.
Okay, good.
And he can box, apparently.
All right, so yeah, the match started off really well. You know, Dr. Britt Baker and Shoko Nakajima, you know, started off chain wrestling each other, and you know, really showing that they're gonna work. And I like how they structured this match, where they actually treated it like it was like a thrown together tag team match, where they weren't really working together as a team. They were just kind of wrestling as one-on-one individuals. It's kind of like AEW knew this was thrown together and they embraced it. It wasn't like, you know, WWE where it is thrown together, but yet they're wrestling like a tag team match. So I kind of like that they embraced that.
I love that idea. I love that they did that and did it like that. And by the way, what did Raw do right after that show a month later? Charlotte and Becky Lynch versus Natty and Trish, and they did the same fucking method.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you don't think WWE is getting ideas from AEW, go suck yourself.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, and then Bree Priestley and Dr. Britt Baker go at it, and I think this is what everybody really wanted to see. Dr. Britt Baker hit wicked arm drag, and this is when she goes into the wrong corner, and then then she fucks up and goes to the other corner. A lot of people make it comical, but you could see that she definitely had a concussion because right after she went to the corner, you could see her holding her head. So I am, like we said, we are going to give it a pass because she probably was seeing stuff.
Everybody thought it was just a comedy spot. It was not a comedy spot. She legit suffered a concussion somewhere.
Yeah, and Rio hits a wicked crossbody, and this match I could try to break down the spots in order, but this match was just really sick, really back and forth.
And by the way, you could also make the argument that it was so thrown together that she didn't remember which person it was.
Yeah, exactly.
She's that self-centered because she's focused on getting the World Women's title or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Too bad you can never do that in WIW because the game wouldn't allow you to do that, but Anyhow, Nakajima hits a really cool 619, and it was actually very inverted because it wasn't she used her knees instead of her legs, which was cool.
Otherwise known as the Tiger Feint Kick. That's actually the version with the.
Yeah, but they didn't call it.
The 619, you're straight legged. I actually found that out.
Yeah.
Recently.
And then Riho and Britt Baker do the draping DDT, double knees right across the back of the neck, off the top rope combination. That was sick.
I remember that.
And yeah, basically just go watch this match. I could just break it down. But we have to be dicks, and we have to call this out because the match gets ruined because someone in the production truck fucked up and put the subtitles right on the screen. Now, at first, I knew it was coming at some point. I just forgot when it happened. I
remember.
We have to call this out because this company, I said.
Allow me. Mike, Casey, and Nikos, and pretty much a lot of people, and I'm going to say this now, and I'm not saying this out of disrespect. They kept telling me, dude, it's just subtitles. Who cares? And they could see past it. Here's the thing. When you have something that screwed up, and it is covering every bit of the screen and going different places, it is impossible, especially for people with autism and ADD or anybody else, especially in wrestling, because most wrestling fans are what?
ADHD. Autistic.
ADHD or autism.
Yeah.
I rest my case. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Never have this fucking mistake again. This was unacceptable.
Especially, too, because...
I don't care if this was the buy-in or not. I could not follow with the match at all because of every time... And it wasn't like it was staying in one stationary position. I want to point that out. It was going from place to place to place. It was going all over the place, the subtitles. And it was aggravating.
I should mention, too, the subtitles, too, was randomized numbers or letters too, so it was so distracting too at that point too, half of the time. I don't know if you noticed.
You can't do this on TNT. You can't do this on your big pay-per-views. You just cannot do it.
And I have to say this too, because OTO as Central pointed this out. They're trying to make themselves a second big wrestling company. This is the type of shit that a indie company would make a mistake, not a company that's trying to be big league.
That looks like glorified indie fit shit, and we cannot have that. If you're trying to be the number 2 de facto in wrestling, and you already are. Actually, you're number 1 technically because you already got ITV and TNT, which reaches more homes than USA and fucking WWE anyway. Especially now since I got to deal with BT Sport in the UK, or had to downgrade, I should say. You can't be the number 1 pro wrestling company just by default because WWE considers themselves sports entertainment and do this kind of shit.
Yeah.
You can't. It's I don't care what anybody wants to tell me that shit happens. If shit happens, if I ever do that shit in WIW, fucking call me out on it.
Yeah.
Give me shit. I want the shit so I can correct it next time.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't tell me, dude, it was just subtitles. Who cares? And I'm going to say that to Nikos and Casey Mike right now, because they were giving me the most shit out of anybody. And all respect and love to them. But dudes, fuck off. If any time is a time to complain about it, it's right now.
Yeah.
Before they go on TNT. Don't tell me not to fucking give them critiques on this shit. If I got critiques on this shit, I'm going to try to correct it. I'm going to do my best to make sure that shit doesn't happen again. That'd be like me hitting the pause button and not editing it out now compared to when we first started.
Yeah.
When people gave me shit for that, I corrected it and did my best not to do it since.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yes, say it now. Don't tell me, it's subtitles, who cares? And look, maybe people weren't as affected of it by me, like I was. But I guarantee you, that shit ain't gonna fly with a national audience. With a nationwide television audience.
Yeah.
Now is the time to say that.
Yeah, it's bad.
Jeez, man.
But yeah,
I get it. Nothing is perfect. You don't embrace imperfection. You do something to get better while accepting you're not perfect. Not the other way around.
Yeah. Then I really like the spot too. Weho and Nakajima did the whole thing where they, traded right hands, and then Bree Priestley and Dr. Britt Baker do it. That was really awesome.
Yes.
I really like Bree Priestley's Slim Blade. I think it's like the only time you've really seen a woman do a Slim Blade, because I don't see anyone.
And she does it better than a lot of people.
Yeah. And then the finish comes when Nakajima hits a wall up out of nowhere onto Rio, and Shoko Nakajima and Bree Priestley get the win, which I thought made sense.
The hell out of me.
Yeah. And it worked, and afterwards, Bree Priestley and Dr. Britt Baker get into a brawl. It has to get broken up. I think it was supposed to lead to a match at All Out, but because of Britt Baker's concussion, it's probably not going to happen now. They're probably going to push it off, but still, this match I thought was really good. The only thing that hurts it is, the subtitles, because that does have to kind of factor into the match, because if you can't see.
I'm sorry, that is going to factor into the match. It would have been a 3.5 star. I'm going to go down a quarter.
Yeah. 3.25. Yeah.
As far as that goes, I don't think it's the biggest thing in the world either, but it does need to be said. You can't just say it's not a negative. It's a negative.
Yeah.
It's absolutely negative. It's affecting the viewing experience when you can't even follow along with what's going on because you're paying attention. And look, I'm not saying, and maybe nobody else was like that, but I sure as hell was. I know you were. I know Chris was, because I called him about the shit.
Well, and Chris too was calling it out in the Chris too called it out in the chat room too. So.
Yep. Agreed. And it's true. You cannot be lazy. You have to be attentive to this kind of shit, even the little things. You can't have, I'm not saying, look, human error happens. That's fine. See what the error was and never do it again.
Yeah.
That being said, cool brawl at the end, and that's a thumbs up by me. So
yeah. So this match I thought was pretty good. I give it 3.25. Then we had like I said, a ton of 3. It would have been 3.5, but then we had Super Bad Kip Sabian's interview. It was actually his interview this time, so that's good. I'm not letting that.
Let's hear from the Brotherhood. Could you imagine if you said that right after?
Oh, that would have been awesome. I mean,
that would have been hilarious. Honestly,
I mean,
maybe that's the gimmick. Maybe he's so elite that he's supposed to be bad. He's supposed to be elite of trash.
Oh. If this is all just a gimmick and they're working us, then I'm gonna.
He calls all out with JR and fucking Excalibur, no problem, just to fuck with us.
Yeah,
You son of a bitch.
And then on TNT, the first episode, he's fucking up all over the place. The next time.
People would be pissed. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, it would be funny, but I can understand where people would be pissed. Don't do that. Please don't do that if you think that's a good idea. But anyway, continue.
Yeah, Kip Sabian gets interviewed. Really loved his interview. He has the interviewer like say his nickname, and basically he calls out like Adam Page, saying that he thinks he's a really good athlete and he has a lot of respect from Adam Page, but basically he thinks that Adam Page is overlooking him in this matchup because Adam Page is focused more on Chris Jericho, the world title. All he did was just send out a little tweet saying that he's a formidable opponent. And Superbad Kip Sabian says that he's not just a formidable opponent. He's not just here to be here. He wants to, be all elite wrestling. He wants to be the world champion.
On the microphone.
Yeah.
Like, he may not be world title contender. My God, could be your whatever it is going to be, the national champion, the television champion, whatever you're going to call it. He's your guy. He's your first champion for that division. Make him your first champion. He's actually great.
Yeah, I would have loved it.
He's probably he's not even an enhancement talent. He showed he can go with the main eventers too, which will add more credibility to when you have a mid-card championship.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Even if he's not maybe he's not world champion, but he could definitely be in contention for the world championship after the show.
Absolutely.
I really love too. This is just a little thing to show how really passionate he was. He even says to the interviewer, "Give me the microphone. I'm passionate about this." Just to show like how much he really wanted to win this match. Like I said, you could
things that AEW does, and you could tell all this shit's unscripted and it's just off the cuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what makes a character when you can just that.
And then JR comes out. And you could just tell that JR kind of really was off because he came out right away and he wasn't like all dressed up. He was kind of in his golf uniform, which kind of wasn't.
Well, I mean, it was in Florida and an outdoor arena. What the hell did you expect?
Yeah. Then we had the show. We should talk about too. I feel like we kind of missed out. We should have talked about the set because obviously we kind of got carried away.
Set's awesome. I love that set.
That set. Tony Khan said, it was inspiration from the South Park episode, and it definitely shows that AEW is definitely following the trends because, a lot of people watch.
People still talk about that episode to this day of South Park, and the fact that, he wanted to do this for so long, and that it's still trending. I think it had to do with dumb luck as well, but
yeah,
that shows he was in tune with like that he really is a wrestling fan, and he's not just spewing a bunch of smoke.
Then we had the show. Obviously we already said the commentary team, the video package, the opening intro, they knocked those out of the. Yeah.
Thumbs up all around. A+.
Really made every match feel important, so that was good. Then we had the opening match. It was a 6-man tag team match. Actually, one criticism we have to go with too, just because it happened throughout the show. They went a little bit too much showing the commentators breaking down each match on the show.
That was ridiculous.
Because
ridiculous. Do what you did at Double or Nothing. I don't know what formula you used. Did not show them nearly as much as you did here. It was not needed.
You should have you could only show. They should have only shown them maybe twice, not what they showed them after each match. I think
Yep, I agree.
Because that's why a lot of people said the show was so long. It would have really shortened the show if they didn't do that as much.
Yeah.
Then we had the opening 6-man tag team match. It was MJF, Sammy Guevara. I will say too, love Sammy Guevara's theme music. I don't know why, I just do.
I really like it too, and I like his entrance video as well.
Yeah, and Sean Spears. And I forgot
Maxwell Jacob Freeman's great.
Yeah.
I love Darby Allin's entrance. I just love Darby Allin in general. I think he's going to be a fucking major star. Even if he's not main event, he's definitely going to have a place in AEW.
Sean Spears, too, had new theme.
All I say is this. You're doing something right if you're still a stupid idiot and you can make Jim Cornette still take a liking to you. That's when you know you're doing something right.
I will say this, too. Sean Spears had new I mean, this is the first time he's had music though, because he didn't have it in the Battle Royal. He just came out, but this was the first time he had new theme music, and I think it fits his gimmick that he's doing. And he's called the Chairman, because of the whole steel chair thing. But yeah, MJF
entendre too, that gimmick, because it's a stab at Vince McMahon and the whole chair thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's a double entendre there. And MJF is great as always.
Yeah.
Phenomenal heel. Absolutely phenomenal heel. Friggin'. Really, the only one I really didn't like in this match probably would be Jim.
I can get
that later.
But yeah, we had MJF, we had Sammy Guevara and Shawn Spears versus Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc, and Joey Janela. Little criticism: Joey Janela wasn't taped up. He wasn't, injured at all from that.
After his match, especially in the feed, I would expect he was going to be around. I think he did sell the feed a little bit, so I guess I'm giving him less credit there.
But still, like Darby Allin,
it's like, by the way, and this is my main criticism. I don't care if you people like Janela. I don't care if you people hate Janela. I'm indifferent on the guy. I have no care for him either way. But for fuck's sake, dude, don't sell a move that you did on the apron. Then stop selling when you see a camera on you and flip off the camera saying, fuck Jim Cornette. Just don't let this dude rent space in your head.
Yeah.
It's bad when the guy who fucking hates you the most is saying that.
Yeah.
Jim Cornette's even basically telling you in a fucking sarcastic manner, why are you letting me rent space in your head? I don't like you. Don't respond to me.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck? Like, I don't care. And by the way, any AEW fan, or probably any average AEW fan, is probably not even gonna know who the fuck Jim Cornette is anyway. Not discrediting Jim, because Jim's fucking awesome. But I'm just saying the fan might not even know him. So why are you going to bring him up on the show?
Yeah.
It's stupid. It don't do that. Stop.
But yeah, now that
this match was awesome, mainly just because of the other 5, except Janela, who really didn't do much. I'm sorry, he really didn't.
But
maybe that was the gimmick though, because of his injuries. Maybe he did sell it. I don't know.
Yeah. Darby Allin though, he was all taped up in this match. He
was still doing awesome shit, and he was selling really well. He was doing really good.
But yeah, Joey Janela and MJF. And I really liked how they, played off the fact that MJF and Shawn Spears still don't like each other, even though they have to be on the same team, because MJF was talking shit to him, saying, watch this, and he just immediately gets his ass kicked by Joey Janela. That was pretty awesome. Right. And, he goes against Jimmy Havoc, and Jimmy Havoc, really picks apart the hand and fingers of MJF. You want to see joint manipulation? Go watch what Jimmy Havoc was doing to MJF. That was, that was.
And another thing, despite his physique, I mean, he looks like he does some great wrestling. He's not just a hardcore guy like a lot of people associate him with.
Yeah. Good. And then MJF starts to cower away, and he tags in Sam Guevara, and that's kind of the main story. Sam Guevara and not Sam Guevara, Shawn Spears and MJF won't tag each other into this match at all, really.
So Sammy Guevara is basically carrying the team.
Yeah.
Which I love that little detail. A lot of people think it's stupid, but I really like it. I think it's different. I think that when they throw together tag matches, nobody's getting along. Not everybody gets along, and I like that.
Yeah.
It's a nice little touch to these throwing together 6-mans.
But yeah, pretty much. And you even saw it too, because obviously now it's a match at All Out. They were really building the issues now between Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc, and Joey Janela. Darby Allin would tag, himself in, and Jimmy Havoc would be like, "What the fuck you doing this shit for?"
Exactly.
And
I guarantee you though, at least Darby Allin and Jimmy Havoc are going to be tag teams too. I can already see it coming in.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing.
And, because Shawn Spears gets into the win, and I really like how they kind of sold the issue that Darby Allin and Shawn Spears have issues with each other, because Shawn Spears stole Darby Allin's spotlight at Fyter Fest. And And Sean Spears just doesn't want to have any of that shit, so he just tags back in Sam Guevara. They go at it for a bit. And then the heels get the heat for a long-ass time on Joey Janela, which probably made James happy to see Joey Janela get his ass kicked. So.
No, as I said, I'm indifferent on the guy. I can't really care for him either.
And, you really saw, the issues were still kind of, there between MJF and Sean Spears, because, MJF is talking shit to Sean Spears. I really like the spot where, he inadvertently caused Sean Spears to get clotheslined, and MJF is just like, "You idiot!" That was awesome. And he, flips him off, and, I just really think it's just quite fun. And then Darby Allin Jimmy Havoc actually gets the hot tag, and he really just gets on the House of Fire, really takes out everybody. And Sammy Guevara, too, he really got his shine in this match. He has, a wide variety of moves that's, doing suicide dives, like that, 450 or shooting star press. They called it something else that he did on the outside onto, Joey, onto, Darby Allin or Jimmy Havoc.
Yeah.
Just Sammy Guevara, the story they told with him in this match was he thought he was an afterthought, but he definitely was no afterthought in this match. He showed.
He was actually probably the star of the show.
Yeah.
This match, anyway.
And then you had Joey Janela doing the.
Continue, because I'm a bit hot in here and I just want to get some water.
Yeah, Joey Janela does the Death Valley Driver on the apron, and then obviously it leads to that spot that James didn't like, where he's flipping off Jim Cornette. So, obviously we already talked about that. I don't need to talk about it now. Then we have, Darby Allin tag himself in, and this is kind of where that issue kind of ties in with Jimmy Havoc and Darby Allin, where they're kind of like, what the hell are you doing? And, Sean Spears tags himself in, and he hits a fireman's carry neckbreaker into a Death Valley Driver on Darby Allin. He gets the victory on Darby Allin, and Sean Spears wins. And literally, I think that was the only thing that Sean Spears did the whole match, but I actually have no issues with it because it really puts over Sean Spears as this heel where he's only in it for himself in this company, and it just really worked. Everybody hated Sean Spears in this match, even the heels. I don't know.
Can you imagine what it's going to be like now with Tully Blanchard as his manager?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, boy, he's going to get heat for days.
And this match was just a really great opener. It wasn't just a great match. It really sets up a lot of stuff. It sets up that triple threat match we're going to get between Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc, and Joey Janela. It sets up a future match between MJF and Sean Spears. Even though it doesn't set up anything for Sammy Guevara, Sammy Guevara just really looked like a star in this match. So I thought it was a great match. I gave it 4 stars. It was just a great opening match.
Yeah, it was a great opening match. 4 stars all the way.
Is there anything you want to add I didn't say, or?
No, it's just you covered everything, man.
Yeah.
This was a great match.
I probably missed some spots here and there, but I got the bullet points we needed yet. So.
Yeah, that's fine. Continue.
Then we had the worst match on the show. The most probably, and now I will say,
best build match too. Best build match, and then
yeah.
Here's what we're gonna do, because I just want to get this negative out of the way, because this is pretty much gonna cap off all the negatives. I'm pretty, other than one later. This match was booked like Brandy was the heel, and yet in the promo packages leading up to it, she was supposed to be the face. I really, really, really didn't like that.
No.
I'm sorry, it was bipolar as fuck.
Yeah.
It made no sense. She should have been a baby face. I'm not saying Allie should have been the heel, but she should have been the effing baby face. She never should have brought out Awesome Kong. Awesome Kong is fine by herself. Honestly, she doesn't need with Brandy in any way. We could go spot for this, but here's the thing: there was really not many spots that are memorable, and I think it just threw off the groove of the whole match. I did not enjoy this at all.
No. I will say, in the win, there was nothing technically bad to that happened. It was just the way it was booked.
It was the way it was booked. Nothing technically bad, but because the booking was all off the kilter and completely deviated from the original story being told, I can't get behind it. I'm sorry, guys, but this is thumbs down, and this is I'm actually going to rate this a 2.
Yeah. I did
not like this at all. I was so confused when she became a heel all of a sudden again.
Yeah.
And unless her gimmick is she's got some personality disorder or multiple personality disorder or now dissociative disorder, whatever, I'm not into this.
No.
I don't know where you're going with it. I thought we were going to have a really cool feel-good story with Brandy winning her first match in AEW, and she did, but it wasn't clean, and it just kind of fell flat. So,
this also it's everything we're trying to get away from in WWE too. It's exactly
this was shit you would see on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Seriously, this was no different than what you would see on Monday Night Raw. I hate to be that guy, okay, but not everything is great on AEW. This was a pretty bad part of the show. Like it wasn't like bad, but it wasn't like it was below average for sure.
Yeah, I gave it 2.25 just because I just liked it more than you, but yeah, it was just not that good. And then
it's below average, and honestly, at the end of the day, though, who cares?
Yeah.
Because the match that I don't believe we've ever had in the history of wrestling is finally going to happen at all.
Well,
Kong comes out.
Yeah.
And her and Awesome Kong have a stare down.
Yes.
And I geek like nobody's business. It's like, holy shit. The fucking juggernauts are going to collide. The two female juggernauts of wrestling are going to collide.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this. Let's go. So, all's well, but ends well.
Yeah. I will say, though, the finish, though, was Brandy Rhodes hitting the spear. That made sense since she had that clavicle surgery. She's got like a metal fin in her shoulder, so at least that tied in. But
yeah, there you go. That's fine.
I think that's where the
quarter. Luger, the female division, got it.
Yeah, I think that's where the quarter comes in because at least the finish. I will say,
is there going to be a segment where she's just in like some sort of wet T-shirt and she'd be like, "And your T-shirts are too tight too, Cody."
That would be hilarious. I did like to
have that.
Yeah.
Just for the shit, the fucking lols.
That is what's confusing too, because she's a face with her husband and then she's a heel by herself, so that's kind of confusing.
No, she was a heel in their first match too, which I kind of looked past because Cody was a heel, but now she's a heel. I don't get it. It's so dumb. Can we please just have her be a babyface? It's easier on my mind.
And I know what a lot of people are gonna say. That's what heels do. They swerve you, but this was one of those.
I want her to be a heel. I want her to be a babyface. I want to like her. That
was
the whole thing I thought this was building up to, was to like her. Can I like her?
Yeah.
I want to like her.
But then
it's a really sweet person.
Yeah. Plus, she's a really good-looking person. Like, really.
No, that's no doubt about it. But I can't comment.
Yeah.
Cody's got that.
Yeah.
And good.
Cody, I don't think.
To him. Thumbs up to you, boy.
I don't think Cody would complain.
Honestly, like personality-wise, she's really sweet. If you look at the interviews.
Yeah.
And it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
But that's okay. All's right in the world because the show only really goes up from here.
Yes.
Then it was the 3-way tag team match to advance to All Out for an opportunity at a first-round bye in the AEW World Tag Team Championship Tournament. Try saying that 3 times fast because that's not going to be easy.
Just say first-round bye in the tag team tournament.
So,
call it that, please.
Yeah. It's the Dark Order versus Angelico and Jack Evans, and this probably is the best tag team name in AEW. A boy and his dinosaur. That's literally an awesome tag team name. That's with
the best. The entrance. The minute we saw Jungle Boy in Jurassic Park fought Mike. You can check out our reactions, by the way. You can check that out at youtube.com/jhubertside95. We started dying the minute that graphic came up. It was too perfect. And then, and here's the sad part. I know that actually, I'm sorry. I gotta say, there is one more negative, in my opinion. Fuck Evil Uno. Christ, he's trash.
Yeah,
His partner outshines him like leaps and bounds. Like, one got worse from what Jim Cornette said, and the other one has gotten better since. So that to tell you all you need to know.
Yeah.
Stu Grayson is great, like, on his own. I don't even think he should be associated with this guy. I'm sorry, he's so bad. He's so bad. He did one cool thing. It was one cool tag finish, but otherwise this team was just dead. The whole gimmick of the Dark Order is now dead. I can't get behind it. That being said, this was still a really good match. I think they hid the deficiencies as well as they could, because the other 5 pretty much put in the work.
Yeah.
And they put in the work hard here.
Yeah, so Marco Stunt, too, accompanied a boy and his dinosaur in the corner.
Yeah,
so.
Even Marco Stunt surprised me. I thought I was going to hate this dude. I'm like, why is he with these guys? And then I'm like, oh, so he could do that.
Another criticism I have in the match, how do you have disqualifications in a triple threat match? Because
I'm sorry, I don't like. Maybe it's just an AEW thing where you get disqualifications in a triple tag match. I guess.
I don't, because I think that's kind of stupid because it's a.
I think so too. That not everything WWE does is shit, guys. Like we can have no DQ for triple threats or fatal 4-ways. That was the entire design of the triple threat in the first place.
Yeah.
You can ask Jim Cornette. It was supposed to be no DQ. Not a WWE thing. It was a Jim Crockett Promotions thing.
Yeah. Also,
WWE
too,
got wind of it.
It's a common little criticism I have with just all triple threat tag matches. I really hate that all 3 guys on each team can't be in the win at once. It's just stupid.
It should be tornado tag always.
Yeah. It's not to an AEW criticism. It's an all professional wrestling criticism.
Yeah, it's not even just AEW. Like, people need to get their head out of their asses with it. Like,
yeah.
It's no DQ. You should be allowed to have all members around in the team. Everybody should be the legal man to be pinned.
Yeah.
It makes no sense with the whole let's stand on the tag ropes. And looking back on it, that's why WrestleMania 19 is probably below WrestleMania X7. Otherwise, the show was near perfect. Other than obviously Brock Lesnar's botch, but
yeah. But anyhow, Stu Grayson and Jack Evans start the match, and they tie it up a little bit. I really like how the Dark Order looked very destructive in this match. They looked like that no one could mess with them. That was pretty cool. But man, I gotta say though, the style of this match was Luchasaurus. Like he looked.
Yes.
He looked.
Make him the world champion in a year or 2 years. This guy is too fucking over. Here's the thing. He's not just the star of this match. He's the star of the night.
Yeah.
By far, he's the star of the night. Everyone's going to be like, wait, what about Chris Jericho? Not even him. He was great. Not taking anything away from Chris Jericho. It was just Luchasaurus was that damn good. The thing about it is, too, he's a great company spokesperson. If you watch his interview with Chris Van Vliet, can appeal to kids with his dinosaur mask. He can appeal to the hardcore fan because he wrestles really well. He can appeal to the freaking people that like comical wrestling because the gimmick is so freaking ridiculous, but it's so awesome.
Yeah.
He appeals to the video game crowd because he looks like Reptile. Do you think he appeals to the freaking women because he's in shape and he looks ripped? He appeals to the guys that think that's a cool ass motherfucker. You don't want to mess with him like in a dark alley. This guy ticks all the boxes. Every single box. I'm kidding you. I'm making a campaign. Luchasaurus for AEW World Heavyweight Champion. That's how good this guy is. And that's not even me being sarcastic. He's that damn good. He's even good at speaking, which means he's probably good at cutting a promo. Therefore, what do you got to lose? Seriously, what do you got to lose? Put the belt on him in a year.
Yeah.
This guy's too goddamn good not to have the world title at some point.
You know what the funny thing is? I know we say you need to slowly take your time with building it. He doesn't even need to be built up. He can just win the world title. Everyone would believe it.
Everyone would believe it. Seriously, nobody would question it.
Yeah.
Nobody would think it's stupid because he's a... Look at him. He's fucking gigantic. He can do flips and kicks and also be a gigantic powerhouse. He is what Braun Strowman wishes he was.
Yeah.
Braun Strowman ain't got nothing on this guy. This guy is insane, man. Like, this dude is just... He's world championship material. Period.
Yeah.
World championship material. The minute he got in the ring, world championship material.
Yeah.
And Jim Cornette was like, AEW needs that star that can appeal to all demographics, and they need to put the world title on him. Guess what? You got him!
Yeah.
He's so good. He's so damn good. Run down his spots, please.
I don't even need to, like,
Just watch it. You want to see how good this guy is? I seriously implore you, watch his match with Jungle Boy. Yeah. Jungle Boy got outshined by his own tag partner, and he's Luke Perry's son.
Yeah.
It's insane how good this guy is.
I'll say some of them, though. The choke slam that he hit, I believe, on a Jack Evans right onto an Angelico outside the ring.
And then frickin' Jungle Boy did a shooting star press right after. Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah, right off of him, right? Like, right off of him.
Yes, right off of him.
He threw Marco's stunt right onto, I think, Angelico. It doesn't fucking matter. It's fucking impressive.
Insane. Like, everything that Luchasaurus did, tag team wise, that's another thing. Tag team, he could probably be just look at him. Look at him. He could be a heel, he could be a babyface. You got nothing to lose.
Dude, I like Alistair Black.
Nothing to lose.
Dude, I like Alistair Black and all, but the strikes he was doing, like, Alistair Black's like nothing on this guy. Like,
bro. And that's the thing too, is because Alistair Black's got some hard kicks. But when you see a guy like Luchasaurus do it at his size, oh, it sounds like it hurts. And it probably does hurt legitimately too.
Yeah.
There's probably some stiffness to those kicks.
But we will say, Angelico and Jack Evans, they had some. And the funny thing is too, the reason why him and Jungle Boy fit so well as a team, Jungle Boy took the heat, and when they built up to the hot tag, everyone was into it.
Yes, absolutely. He took the heat, and he was the hot tag guy. He's a perfect hot tag guy too. But it's not. You literally can put him in a one-on-one match, and he looks great. That's the thing. And when he did take bumps, he made everybody look.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe how good he was. Like, seriously, I could talk about Luchasaurus all day. Like, this guy's so goddamn talented.
But, Angelico and Jack Evans, they looked impressive in this match with, the assisted shooting star press, that rolling, like, kick that Angelico does, the moonsault that Jack Evans did on the outside, the 450. The Dark Order looked pretty good in this match. I don't think, Evil Uno, like we talked about, looked crappy, but, what's his name?
Stu Grayson really did good. I thought if anybody was a second star of this match, it was Stu, actually. He really did well.
And then they got the win, and I had the name of the finisher.
Swanton Bomb, Cannonball finish combo. That's how they won the match.
No, it wasn't. It's like that reverse scory bomb into the...
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. That's a good finish. That's a really good... I love that finish at Double or Nothing, too.
Yeah.
Really good.
I think that was called the... It was something... It began with an F, but I forget the name of it off the top of my head.
It began... This is the name of it. Fuck Evil Uno.
Can we just call it that?
Do this, you literally could have done that gory bomb spot with anybody else.
Can we just call it that? Can we just call that Fuck Evil Uno?
Please. He's so terrible. I'm sorry. He's trash.
Honestly, though, like, I know it made sense for the Dark Order to win because it makes sense, but I really would have just called an audible.
Dude, if I knew you were gonna suck this bad.
Yeah.
I would have won.
No, but honestly, though, if I was backstage, I would have called an audible and just said, fucking have Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus win with how good he looked. I would have called an audible.
Serious. I agree. He was way too over. And you still could have done the whole best friends versus evil. I think they are doing it. I think that's how they're blowing it off. So I guess they had to win.
I know, but still, I would have.
This Dark Order thing is dead.
Yeah.
I'm fine with Evil Uno being a manager.
Yeah.
That I will say. He's great on the mic. I will give him credit where credit's due. It's horrible.
That match, honestly though, the match is still great though because of Luchasaurus. I give it 4.25.
He made the whole match. Honestly, this gets 4.25 star because of Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
Like it was nuts how good he was. One thing I recommend for AEW. I can't even believe I'm recommending this guy. Enzo, never get him. Bring in Kaz XL. Kaz XL, team him up with Stu Grayson, and then have Evil Uno manage the both as the Dark Order.
Well, with Kaz XL,
I think you have a much better chance with Kaz XL in that role of the monster giant than Evil Uno. Because one, Evil Uno's not a giant, and two, he looks so out of shape and looks like he could barely fucking work, and he could do one goddamn move.
The question
I'm not exaggerating. He could do one fucking move, and the rest are weak ass punches.
Yeah. I do have a question though. Would Kaz XL fit with this whole Dark Order gimmick that they're trying to do though?
Have you seen the way he looks? Have you seen his transformation since he got with DDP Yoga? It's incredible. Yes, he fits it.
Okay.
He fits it 100%.
Oh, I can wait an hour again.
Yay.
So I think I just have to keep pressing wait an hour, but I gotta update.
All right, cool. Continue.
Alright, so yeah, like I said, 4.25. Then we had the next match. Heyman Page versus Kip Sabian.
Went a little on, but still really good. I give this match probably 4 stars.
Yeah, I give it 4.5. I thought it was great.
Yeah, alright, fair enough. I'm gonna give it 4 because it just went a little long for my taste, that's all. But this was a really good match. Kip Sabian showed a lot in this match.
Yeah.
I think, again, he needed to show a lot in this match because not a lot of people seen him. Maybe they didn't watch the buy-in. So this is a really good showcase for him. And I think that, Heyman Page got some really good shit into. Obviously, his finishers are great. I love the Deadeye. I love the rebound clothesline he does. I love how he does the clothesline, too. He spins around from the apron and then does it. Talk about hey, JBL, by the way, eat your fucking heart out.
Yeah. That power bomb outside the ring, because they had the ramp set up where it went right to the ring, right on the ramp.
I remember that. That was cool.
I think it's called I think he did a fisherman's neck breaker off the turnbuckles.
Yeah, that was cool.
Kip Sabian though, like I said, he hit the springboard drop kick. He had a really cool suicide dive on the outside, a really cool flip dive, really cool double stomp, and Kip Sabian just really showed he can be a worthy contender. And what I really like, about this match is now that AEW ended a match off with a time limit draw. Now when they actually it really shows that they're taking the time limit draw seriously because you actually thought that this was going to end in a time limit draw.
Yeah, which means you can definitely predict for them. That was really cool.
Yeah. And
Heyman won with the Deadeye. I honestly thought Sabian was going to win just because he's already got the title match, but I really like that they don't. I'm glad I was wrong.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's the WWE mentality. That's why I picked it. Because when you see him win the number one contendership already, you think he's immediately going to lose. He won here. They kept him looking strong, and they found a way to make him look like there's a possibility he could lose, but maybe he won't. I like how they made the main event match so unpredictable that you don't know who's going to win.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem with WWE, and even with NXT. Some of the times these matches are just so goddamn predictable.
Yeah.
And it's I love that they don't make it predictable. I like that they stray away from the wrestling tradition, the WWE tradition, and they make the guy look strong, and they make the other contender look strong, and there's no clear-cut favorite. I like that. Smart booking by AEW for sure.
Then, so Heyman Page wins with the Deadeye, but then one of the Dark Order's disciples, or I forget what they called it, but a disciple.
Minions.
Yeah, minions. comes in.
See them all dress up in just yellow bodysuits with a fucking one eye.
Yeah. And he attacks Hangman Page. I think we all know who this was. He hits the lung blower, and as everybody knows, Chris Jericho has popularized the lung blower into the code breaker. So the second he hit the lung blower, we knew it was Chris Jericho. He takes the mask off. It was still really goddamn cool, though. Like I said, this is where I rant on the commentary team. Why would the commentary team think that it wasn't Chris Jericho? Like, you were kind of stupid there. Because
that was so dumb. I feel like Golden Boy in this spot would have done so much better. And it was Marvez who started that whole stupid shit, by the way.
Yeah. But then...
And it was like... And you could tell JR actually tried. He was much better at Double or Nothing than he was here. I think at Double or Nothing, he's just like, I'm not carrying this goal. I could give up.
Yeah.
You could tell. And I don't blame you, JR, one bit. I would have fucking given up halfway through.
Yeah. But then, yeah, we see that it's Chris Jericho, and he fucked Adam Page's eye up.
The Judas effect, and that really put over the move. I think they planned that, by the way. I think they planned for him to legit get a shiner.
Yeah.
That was brilliant booking if that was planned, because that puts over that move like nobody's business.
And I hear that
a simple spinning elbow strike is like now one of the most devastating finishers in AEW.
I hear too, like a lot of people are kind of crapping on it, like they think it's kind of crap. But I really
not when it's an anti-air.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming. That's the only reason he would have this move. I guarantee you, it's going to be an anti-air, just like the Code Breaker.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
He could hit this from anywhere too. He could hit it on the turnbuckle. He can hit it, anywhere.
He can hit it via springboard. He could hit it when Adam Page is charging at him with that lariat clothesline.
Oh, that's gonna look. I hope they do that spot at All Out. So
they should.
Yeah.
It would look awesome.
But yeah, Chris Jericho really got one over on Hangman Page. I would have had him do his promo here instead of later on in the night, just because would have made the pay-per-view. I get why they kind of put it in between Shima Omega and the main event because they wanted some time to breathe. But I feel like it would have made the show shorter. But anyhow, this still was a home run. It was absolutely awesome. And
fantastic.
Yeah. Then we had the next match. Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky with Christopher Daniels. Oh wait, yeah, we did wait Page versus Sabian. Sorry. It's Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky with Christopher Daniels versus the Lucha Bros.
This match was great. I love this match too.
Yeah.
Definitely this one for me. I think it went the right amount of time. This will be 4.5 for me. I especially liked it. A lot of people didn't, but I liked it for this reason, because they strayed away from WWE bullshit. This is what made them different. Christopher Daniels did get physical in this match, but instead of throwing the match out, he was ejected. I love that. Love that. No schmoz finish will happen on my watch. The referee is throwing his or her weight around. That was great. That means you don't fuck with the referees. That means they're not stupid. That means they're not going to fucking fall down and stay down for like 4 million years. I like that. It shows that the referees have power, that the referees have power in matches. It makes it look like a legitimate sport. Great touch there. Absolutely amazing touch.
But this match was just great. I really loved too when Pentagon Jr. went to throw his glove and Aubrey Edwards didn't catch it. It was pretty damn.
Yeah.
But this was great. Everyone looked strong in this match. Lucha Bros, they hit like a lot of super kicks. We had a flapjack into an ace crusher on the apron.
Sick.
We had a Mexican destroyer from the middle turnbuckle.
My father calling it that now.
Well, they didn't, but I'm calling it that. But because
they did call it a Mexican destroyer. Actually, I remember freaking Excalibur audibly saying that. I wonder where they got that idea from.
Yeah.
We didn't call Kyle's Dynamite Destroyer the Canadian Destroyer. Where they got that, bro.
Are you really believing that?
Well, you got to remember who we gave a fucking card out to, Sean Spears.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, hey, I'm fine with them taking it. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
It's a very real possibility.
Then, you had the Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky do the double dives on the outside, onto that stage thin that they do. And eventually, the Lucha Bros win. They win with the package power driver double stop combination.
I love that finish. Great finish. Yeah. Love that finish.
And I was surprised. I gave it 4 3/4. I could be like a Lucha Bros mark. That's why I gave it 4 3/4. It's still 4.5, but I really like.
My dad thought he was Rey Mysterio, and I had to explain to him, no, that's one of Rey Mysterio's proteges that he trained.
Yeah,
that's true, by the way.
And I gotta say, I know a lot of people have it might be an unpopular decision. The Lucha Bros are probably my favorite tag team in AEW. I think they're awesome. I really like them.
They're fucking phenomenal.
I was especially surprised when I saw OTR Essentials review. I'm like, he's not gonna like the Lucha Bros. I was surprised he liked the Lucha Bros. I was stunned.
The Lucha Brothers are so different. You know why? Because it's one aerodynamic dude, and it's one dude that will just fuck your shit up.
Yeah.
Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix. If you follow Lucha Underground, you could tell why these two actually gel well together as a team, and later will be better rivals.
Yeah. Then I believe the first match in Lucha Underground was against each other in a triple threat, so that's kind of cool right there.
Fun fact for
you. Afterwards, they grab a ladder. You could question this because it makes them look like heels, but I still like it.
And I'd be surprised if you know Pentagon Jr.
Yeah, and they take out SCU with the ladder. And they basically, I think this is what they said, but a lot of it was in Spanish. They say they're the best tag team in the world, and they challenge the Young Bucks for the AAA World Tag Team titles in a ladder match at All Out. And they say they're not the best tag team on the planet. They're the best tag team in the universe. They may have said some other things, but it was in Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish. But that's basically the gist of the promo. And obviously, if you're not hyped for the main event after that, or not the main event, but if you're not hyped for that match after this, then I don't know what would hype you. I can't wait for that match.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah. And I think it makes the perfect sense. It's a way to finish off that feud. And I even love, I know we talk about how he's shit, but Alex Marvez did point out that, the ladders even have AEW colors on them. It's not, traditional ladder. So we will call him out saying he made one good call on this show. So, there you go. Yeah.
You got one, Marvez. You got one.
But yeah, anything else you have to say about this match? And then, the ladder match coming up.
You covered pretty much everything. The Lucha Brothers are major stars, and Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian were no slouches either. If you guys want to see the AEW tag team going to be like, highly advise you watch this match. This was great from bell to bell.
Yeah. Then we had my favorite match of the weekend, Shima versus Kenny Omega.
Yeah, this was 5.
Easily.
A lot of people are going to think we're overrating it. I don't think I'm overrating it. This great.
Honestly. And honestly, I know this for some reason, this exceeded my I expected this match to be great, but I don't know why, but this exceeded my expectations. I didn't think it was going to be a 5.
My expectations when I thought it was going to be great, and that's what made it 5 stars for me.
Yeah.
It's how good you have to be to exceed expectations of great. You know what I mean? And Shima was no slouch, bro. My God, I hope the dude actually still has cartilage in his knee after the amount of meteors he fucking hit.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But I really like how they sold the fact that maybe Kenny Omega's in a slump because he doesn't have a singles win yet in AEW, and this was like a must win for him. But this was also a must win for Shima too, because he has to go back to China and admit the embarrassment of losing. So I really like how they kind of tie in that. I just love in AEW, every match is a must win for everybody.
Yes.
So
great.
Yeah, they start chain wrestling each other, and Shima actually got much of the offense in the beginning portions of this matchup. I think Kenny Omega, like, they told the story, like, he kind of took CIMA lightly a little bit, and CIMA kind of, like, taught him a lesson for that. Like, you're not going to take me lightly.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much. And, you know, CIMA hits a wicked drop kick on the outside. He hits a suicide dive on the outside, and eventually Kenny Omega goes after the knee. And if you see the way Kenny Omega, like, was wrestling in this match, like, this was back to, like, Bullet Club New Japan Kenny Omega we saw, like, in New Japan.
God, Kenny Omega hit, like, six V triggers.
Yeah.
Like, beyond a shadow of a doubt. He brought back the double underhook pile driver finish.
Yeah.
He hit pretty much everything that you would have expected, other than the Hadouken.
Yeah.
He hit pretty much everything on point. It was crisp. It looked like a fight. Everything was great about him.
But yeah, they fight on the floor. Kenny Omega's gonna like slam or do something to not to himself, to CIMA, you know, onto the Bell Timekeeper's table. But CIMA counters it. He hits a suplex on the floor, and the crowd booed because which kind of sucked because they lost the video feed on the Titantron,
yeah, right.
or whatever they call it,
that
the screen.
For them, I'm sure.
Huh?
I'm sure that sucked for them.
Yeah, because they didn't get the reaction they wanted. So, but then they made up for it because CIMA, I don't know if he called this on the fly or if this was planned. He went off the fans' like guardrail and did a meteor right onto the Timekeeper's table, right onto Kenny Omega. And he wasn't done there. He did one to the back of the neck, a springboard version, and then he did one regular, and he still didn't get the fucking win. Like, it was like, I think Kenny Omega wanted to die in this match rather than lose.
Yeah, I think they both wanted to.
Yeah. And then Kenny Omega.
That Meteora on the freaking Timekeeper's table also, I love that they utilized the Timekeeper's table because that hasn't been utilized since the Rock and Mankind's I Quit match.
Yeah.
From like
also
99.
too, I know like a lot of people like this was a big criticism I saw in like Noah and Cindy's like live stream, like how like AEW is showing a lot of leeway a lot. They're not really like following the rules. But this match was just so important, I thought, that they really needed to show leeway in this match. Like,
dude, you gotta remember, they're not gonna follow the same rules that wrestling. Like, they're treating it as if it's a sports league.
yeah.
Like that mean, and if everyone's matter, guess what? People are gonna bound to kick out of finishers. It's the same argument I made with WYW's Gold Rush tournament, and everybody's like, "Why is everybody kicking out of everything in round one?" It's because it was leading to the point of being the first world champion. In this case, the league itself, every win fucking matters here. Every win does. That's how they're treating it. If that's how they're gonna treat it, totally okay with it.
But yeah, then Kenny Omega, like you said, hit some stiff, like V triggers where you thought like CIMA's head was gonna fly off his head, like shoulders. Yeah.
I was actually kind of worried.
Then eventually and Kenny Omega even hits like a sit out power bomb, still doesn't get the win. But then eventually he hits the one winged angel, gets the win, and yeah, Kenny Omega beats CIMA. And honestly, you could say, well, it's the executive and AEW putting themselves over. That wasn't the case at all. CIMA looked strong enough where he didn't lose by losing. I mean, he lost, but he looked so good that even in defeat, he looked like a winner.
He really looked great in this. And by the way, little trivia for y'all. Where did the one-winged angel finisher originate from?
Was it in China?
No, it was Japan. But where did it originate from?
That I don't know.
From an anime. New Japan Pro Wrestling has their own anime show. Kenny Omega was on it, and they made a finisher for him called the One-Winged Angel, and he ripped it straight from that.
Where did you hear about this?
I just saw it. Mike showed me, and it's like, you want to know where he got the One-Winged Angel from? Watch this. Now,
That's
obviously,
funny.
It's way more over the top in the anime version than it is here, but it's still a fucking sick move that he was able to. There you go.
But yeah. So then we needed a breath. We needed to take a breath after this 5-star classic. So this was kind of like the perfect place to have Chris Jericho's promo because we needed to take a breath. And Chris Jericho comes out.
Unscripted Chris Jericho comes out. That's the best promo that he's had since his 2008 promo.
Probably, yeah.
And that includes the list promos.
Yeah.
This is his best character work since 2008.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
And Chris Jericho did say in the interview that this was the first time he's cut an unscripted promo. I think he said I don't think he said in his career, but in a long time. Where he was just, and he even had to like change the promo up because of Hangman Page's eye getting cut open. He talks about actually, since I talked about all the why don't you talk about the promo?
Promo was like, I don't even remember all of the. I do remember like kind of roasting the Double or Nothing Battle Royal, and then he talked about Hangman Page and how he's like he credited him, but then he's like, that means I have to win. I have to beat the Hangman. I have to beat the Hangman. I have to beat the Hangman over and over and over again like a crazy person. And then it eventually led to him giving him shit and saying all this horrible stuff. And then out came Hangman Page. And my God. What a pull apart brawl. This was great. It felt real. It felt good. It felt like, he had a reason to come out. And this is why I said at the beginning when it came to the Hangman Page match, I did this because it makes the match at not Double or Nothing, All Out, completely unpredictable, and you don't know who will win. Great job on all of you.
And you had people come out to break. I even love too that the people that even came out to break out the pull apart brawl didn't look weak either. Because in WWE it takes like 20 people to break out 2 guys. Like, why does it take that many people to break up?
Just a few guys, a few security guards. All you need.
Yeah, and this was awesome. And I really don't know who's gonna win it all out. I mean, I think it should be Hangman Page because that it's kind of if Jericho wins, you go into the old WWE gold, but it's also going on TNT, and Chris Jericho being the world champion, them going to eat TNT would get the eyeballs on that footage.
I think it should be Jericho for that reason.
Yeah, but it's also. I think a lot of people will get worried because they're gonna say a
lot of people you'd be surprised are recommending that Jericho's the first champion because there should be a big chaser and preferably a young guy to be Jericho. But
yeah, we'll see though.
It makes a lot of sense to have Jericho be the first champion actually.
Yeah.
They're laying this out.
But we'll see. So that's at least that's good though. A lot of people won't just say it's them going to the former WWE. I mean, people will say that obviously.
But in a lot of cases, it wouldn't make sense for them to do that because this is a much different case.
Yeah.
It's not like TNA where they already established an identity. This is where they need to have an identity still, and so they need to use the WWF guy who's being the heel and begging for thank yous to be the champion. I think it makes a lot more sense to have him.
Yeah. Then we have the main event.
This is great.
The Young Bucks.
Again, a little bit too long, but still a 4 3/4 match because everybody played their part excellently here.
And I will say, the crowd was so lively, but you could kind of see they were starting to get tired throughout the match because they were sitting in 80 degrees.
Because they were sitting in the heat all day, though. I think that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
More than anything else. But this match was so good. Cody and Dustin really did well against the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks really showed that they could tell a story.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like they had 2 matches combined into one. Because at one point, Cody was the heater, and Dustin got the hot tag, and then they did it the other way around, where one of the Jacksons was getting the heat, and then they tagged in his brother, and it was like fantastic. And then they got him all their usual.
Now I will say this:
Dustin Rhodes really hung with the Young Bucks when they were going fast paced too, which surprised the hell out of me.
I could see this match getting bad reviews from Young Bucks fans because it's not the Young Bucks match that they like. But I thought this match just worked.
It worked a lot.
And it was definitely a good way to mix their styles. So the match starts with Cody and Matt Jackson. it's sometimes tough to tell which one's which, but I think Matt has hair was a little lighter than Nick's. And at first it's just a friendly competition. They shake hands, but when Cody out wrestles Matt, that's when he gets pissed off, and it's not about respect anymore.
Which I love, by the way.
Yeah, and
love how they made Cody on the same page with Dustin in the match.
Yeah.
The minute Jackson disrespected Cody and the brotherhood. Good job.
There you go. Then, the match, and I even love how they told the story that the referee was, that was in the match was like the Young Bucks, like referee that they signed, because and being the Elite is always with the Young Bucks, so they kind of told that story, like maybe there's gonna be some shenanigans, which didn't really tie in. That might be an Alex Marvez thing, but shut up, Alex Marvez.
I think JR actually legit said that. Alex, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I feel like he was trying to make it sound like too he was joking, but I think he was probably legit pissed off or something. Like,
I don't think he was definitely. I think he's sick of hearing the guy, and probably like, where the fuck is that Golden Boy? I would rather commentate with him.
Yeah, but yeah, the match spills out of control. The Brotherhood and the Young Bucks get it and start yelling at each other. So good thing they went at Chris Dodd's house, because they would have been thrown out. But the Young Bucks hit the traditional moves where they hit the double leap and drop kick. They hit that head scissors drop kick combination, onto Cody, and they mock that whole thing again where they say, I don't need my brother, I don't need a friend, I don't need a partner, I don't need a friend, I need my older brother, and they do the hug and pretty much the Young Bucks throughout the beginning portions really get the heat on Dustin. They really work him over for a long ass time. And then Cody gets the hot tag. He hits a moonsault. He hits a suicide dive over the ropes onto one of the Young Bucks. I forget which one off the top of my head. But that was really cool. He hits, a disaster kick. And then they throw Matt's shoulder into the post. And they tied it in because this is the same shoulder that the Lucha Bros injured in the first match of Double or Nothing. So they really tied that in really well. And, the Brotherhood really dissect and pick apart the shoulder of Matt Jackson. This is probably where you could say the match kind of drags a little bit because maybe they should have cut, a few minutes of this part of the match. Then Nick Jackson gets the hot tag. And then the match really starts to, get out of control. You had double sharpshooters by the Young Bucks, double figure four leg locks. And then you had super kick Cody all over the place. Cody dived right into a double super kick, which I don't think anyone ever saw that coming. Yeah. Even Cody did a super kick. That's really... I love
how they just stole each other's finishers, too. I love that little cut.
Yeah. Then they do an assisted crossroads. Never thought I would see that. They do, I don't know what they call it. I can't call it the final cut because that's the name in WWE, but it's basically Cody and Dustin do like a double, I don't know, like twisted neck break. Not twisted neck break, but twisted
I'm just going to call it the final cut.
Yeah. Until they get a name in AEW, it's the final cut, I guess. And but that was nice. Then they go for the Meltzer driver the first time on Dustin, and Cody catches one of the Young Bucks into the disaster kick, which that was awesome. And then the finish finally comes when the Young Bucks hit the Meltzer driver on Cody, get the win. I was surprised that Cody took the fall. Because I thought Dustin would, but maybe he can't take the Meltzer driver. Or maybe like Cody wanted to put over the Young Bucks in a big way. It was still kind of cool.
Something definitely happened, but I'm fine with Cody putting it.
And yeah, I want to point out too, Cody's record in AEW is 1-1-1 because he beat Dustin at Double or Nothing. He wrestled a draw.
He is pretty much the freaking standard bearer of what AEW's win record is going to look like. I think that was done by design, actually, looking at it now.
Yeah.
Got to win, a draw, and a loss.
Yeah.
And like 3 straight events.
So that I really like this ranking system too, because it's making me think like, what's this guy's record? What's this guy's record? I mean, it's really, maybe it's just me being a stupid wrestling nerd thinking about it, but I think it's just cool. It's making me like wonder, like, there's only like 3 wrestlers technically that's undefeated in AEW. It's the Young Bucks, and the Hangman Page. Everyone else at least has like a win or a loss. So that could be like nice trivia questions we can do. Obviously it's gonna get harder, once they get a TV deal, so that's why it's easy. But I really like it because it's making me think every day, what's this guy's record? I'm like, I think it's 3-0. So I think it's cool. Obviously, too, we don't really know what the ranking system's really going to mean yet. Like, what overall, I think we'll kind of find out more once they go on TV. But I still think, I think it's cool because it gives me something to think about every day when I'm working, and you need something to think about when you're working. So, you don't want to just think about that must be like pretty sad though, like that I'm thinking about like people's wins-loss record in a wrestling promotions, but I'm a sad individual.
Don't do it with WWE, but you could do it with AEW. So
yeah,
not too bad.
But then the Young Bucks.
Okay, so this will be where I come in. I'm just gonna cut straight to the chase. So the Young Bucks get on the microphone after the win. They're like, I don't watch the other product, but I've heard about this myth of the Rhodes brothers. And after tonight, after being in the ring with you, you two are by far the best tag team we've ever been in the ring with. And I was like, that's really, really like. And then they were gonna say more stuff. So for that respect thing, thumbs up. This thing, again, I don't care what anyone wants to tell me. I don't care if people give me. This needs to be said now so they can correct this mistake later. I get, obviously, if you had to pick what is more important, a Young Bucks promo or charity, obviously charity's going to win. Fine with that. But the fact that you did not have time for both is fucking unacceptable, period. And that shit cannot happen when you get on TNT. That shit can't even happen when you're on pay-per-view. I don't care if it's free or not. You can't do that. You just can't. And the fact is, by the way, they almost did run out of time because it was cutting out of Cody's speech on my feed. Because he was, I saw the promo after the fact. They put it on their Twitter. Bleacher Report put it on their Twitter. AEW put it on. But it was Cody's best promo ever, I think, that he's ever cut. And of course, it got cut off like a quarter of the way through because their time management was so poor on the show. And by the way, this is not a first occurrence. This happened with All In, and this happened with Fyter Fest a bit too.
And Double or Nothing, because remember the pre-show they couldn't do the full intro promo.
Yeah, they couldn't even do the full. Well, actually, that was more of a beginning problem, but everything else was pretty good on that show. I don't know what you guys did on Double or Nothing, but whatever you did, follow that formula, please. That went off without a hitch, other than the beginning warning message going a little too long. And their buy-in promo, I know what you're talking about now, going way longer than it needed. But yeah, everything else was fine. You need to get better at time management. It needs to happen.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. But otherwise, this was, I'll say this is a thumbs-up show, but it's a 7.5. It would have been an 8. It may have even been a 9 had it not been for the many problems that were on the show. And they aren't minor gripes. People are saying, well, these are minor gripes. No, minor gripes is like, they could have done this a little better, or they could have done that a little better. That's nitpicking. These were not nitpicks. These are serious problems they need to fix before they show up on TNT on October 2nd. They need to fix it.
Yeah. And at All Out. They got to fix it at All Out, too.
Yeah, absolutely. All Out. This cannot happen at All Out. Maybe that's the reason why. Maybe it's because it's a free show in the U.S., they're not taking it as seriously. I don't like that, though, because every show should be taken as seriously as Double or Nothing was.
Yeah.
You need to treat it seriously.
Because if you
treat it with some level of seriousness.
Because then you're getting into main roster territory if every show is not taken seriously.
Yeah. And if you're not taking your show seriously, I don't know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
If you don't take any little thing that you're doing seriously, I don't know what the hell you're doing. Look at our show. Instead of like lessening the time, we extended it. I wish we didn't have to extend it because then it wasn't 8 hours long. But at least we made it 8 hours long. We didn't go over that.
Yeah.
We didn't go over that. We cut it off at the 8 hour mark. We actually cut it out at 7 hour and 56.
Yeah.
Not even 8 hours. Just because you can go longer, not mean you should.
What's your letter grade then?
Oh yeah, that's right. I'll give it a B plus.
Okay.
I'll give it a B plus just because there's a lot more that I loved about the show that I hated about that show.
Yeah.
That's more than I could say for the main roster.
Yeah.
Way more than I could say about the main roster. There's so
I'll
much
go.
I loved on this show. So
I'll go A minus. Just because I think I liked it a little bit more than you. I'll go A minus. So there you go.
And by the way, at the end of the day, these rankings and our ratings probably won't stand. We're only saying them just so that way they could, get better on TNT. That's the only reason they exist. But otherwise, they don't count. Like, pretend we're not even doing them, even though we did do them. Because at the end of the day, the show is for charity. They raise a shit ton of money for victims of gun violence. And how apropos is it now? Because after the whole day in Ohio and Texas shootings.
Yeah.
A moment of silence for them, obviously. But, I at the end of the day, this was for charity, and for a charity show, this is one of the best charity shows I've seen.
I also will say too, maybe that's why, because it was a charity show too, so I'm giving it A minus because they did the right thing. So
yeah,
I haven't
liked. If it wasn't a charity show, I feel like I would have given it.
Yeah, I will say too, I did like the shot too that they took at how WWE had the Evolve show.
Yeah, that must be explained. You cannot counter program what All Elite Wrestling is doing. They can't. And by the way, and I want to point this out, and I think I've already pointed this out, but I'll point it out again. I have no disrespect to any of the wrestlers that were on that Evolve show. None at all, especially Anthony Green. I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of everybody that was on that show, especially if they were an MMA boy in Massachusetts. Here's what I will say. It's not even their fault.
No.
WWE did this on purpose and put it on the network on purpose. If it was just an Evolve event, I would have been totally fine with it. But they put it on their own network and added their own matches to the card just so that way they can counter program AEW.
And want to know how
have any income whatsoever taking away from AEW when people were initially going to watch AEW Fight for the Fallen. I'm saying this right here and right now. It is fucking disgusting, and you all should be fucking ashamed of yourselves in the main offices.
Yeah. Want to know how
Triple H? Because this should have never happened. They never should have put this on the network, and it would have been way better received. Because we know the meaning. Everybody wants to tell me it's competition. WWE does this. They've done worse shit, and they're gonna do worse shit. Really? So we're gonna fucking throw charity out the fucking window? What happened to Be a Star, huh? How about that Susan G. Komen? Oh, wait. Better yet, how about that Victims for Haiti program? How about Connor's Cure? All the charities you've done, and you're going to prevent another wrestling company to promote a charity that, I don't know, is actually relevant to our society right now with people dying of gun violence every day? That's what you're going to try and compete with? Bad PR move, you freaking morons. Good job.
And want to know how we know too that it was used just to do that? Because after the Evolve show, they never referenced anything that happened of theirs on that show ever again. Like literally, yeah.
They treated it just like it was Saudi Arabia, as they should.
Yeah.
And if that pisses off anybody from Top Rope, that pisses off anybody that has wrestled for this show, for Evolve in any way, shape, or form, guess what? I don't care. I have no disrespect to you guys. More power to you. You're getting a payday, I understand. It's a big opportunity. But it is not for me. I don't think that this was the show that should have competed with AEW if it was a charity show. And everybody wants to tell me, even if it was free in the United States, guess what? WWE, at the end of the day, still got money and drew money away from the international audience. Because guess who still had to pay? The international audience. I rest my case. Any money is fucking disgusting at that point.
That's pretty much the end of this video. So now we get excited because now after I record this, it's all work to 2000 video. I'll make the announcement because I haven't made the announcement yet. What the 2000 video will be is basically going to be a tribute video. Where of all the past moments that's aired on my channel, mainly like the best hits. I have a lot that I've been posting on there so far. And like people like James, obviously me, Noah, Chris, John, Tuddy.
The Indie Force will be on. I'm sure will give their own, thoughts about the show as well. The opportunity they got on here.
Yeah, pretty much. Still haven't decided yet how I'm gonna order the video. Like if I might just do. I'm at this point deciding just to put the Aftershock Corner all after each other, just because it seems like I'm getting a lot of Aftershock Corner moments. So, but you're gonna see a lot of my early videos, my early cringy videos. Yeah.
You'll get to see
I really wish.
Videos. You'll get to see a lot of videos of all of us. Don't worry. You'll get to see the best moments. You'll see Steve rolling into a table.
Yeah.
You'll see Steve get arrested. You'll see me rip up paper, scream about how WWE shit.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much every video.
You're gonna see him do the Kevin Dunn impression.
My Kevin Dunn impression. You'll see how come this wrestler and that wrestler are not in the same room together skit. You'll see Draven calling Byron Saxton a coon. You'll see Mike Mars' first appearance on this channel.
Yeah.
You're
also gonna see
in the entire WWE probably. You're gonna see all the greatest hits.
You're also gonna see. He's probably gonna watch this, but I'm probably never gonna see him again. And I hate saying this, but it's true. How much Ori really doesn't know about professional wrestling, because he knows not. I gotta be honest though, he knows nothing about professional wrestling. Like
he doesn't.
We'll get to see you run through chairs.
Oh my god, I remember that. Oh yeah, when I freaking hurt my ribs.
Yeah. And I'll even show. You're gonna see the WIW Immortal review. You're gonna see some of my You're gonna see moonsault after moonsault. You're gonna see.
You're gonna see all the greatest hits, boys and girls. All the greatest hits.
You're gonna say though
too.
To
this video. I'm really looking forward.
Yeah. I will warn you, it's gonna be long because.
I don't care. We have an 8-hour show. You can have a long show if you want. I'll watch it.
Anyhow, too, I should say I used to kind of question why it would take so long for you to edit at WIW. Editing this video, I understand now because I have to cut a lot of things, and if you miss like one word, you gotta like watch it all over again and everything. Like,
Exactly, my dude. Exactly.
Yeah. So.
With that being said,
do your plugs.
Speaking of editing. You guys can check out my YouTube channel, which I will be active back on there again. Just got to take the channel in a different direction. I'm not the custom theme guy anymore. I'll try to when I can, I guess, if I feel up to it, but I probably won't. But we are going to have a new series on the J Hebert Side 95 channel. It's going to be called the Indie Force. That's right. We are an official group. Mike Nikos, Mike Marr, Casey Gallagher, or should I say Michael X, not Mike Marr, but let's use both. All three of them and myself will be on that show on the J Hebert Side 95 channel. So make sure you sub to that channel right now. That's youtube.com/user/J Hebert Side 95, JHEBERTSIDE 95. I should have fucked it up. JHEBERT SIDE95. You could also check out, you can also at me on Twitter, twitter.com/JHebertSide95 or at JHebert95. And also, if you guys want to see a real cool mega event that we did, I will plug this till I'm dead in the grave because I'm so proud of it. Check out WYW Immortal. It is up on the main channel right now. You can check that out on youtube.com/user YouTube.com/WYW And you could also check it out on my YouTube channel, JHavenSide95. There's a non-HD quality version on there. And in the links of both videos is a clearer version on Casey's channel known as Luke Lynch. I believe it's youtube.com/user/Luke_LYNCH. Yeah.
All right. And as for me, like I said, you can check out this channel so you can watch Video 2000. I'm finally going to upload all these videos I've recorded, too, and haven't been able to upload because we haven't done this video yet. You'll see, the wrestling rundown. This one, you're going to see 163, where me and Chris Dodd talked about Raw Reunion and stuff like that, where basically kind of buried Raw Reunion, pretty much. I didn't bury the show, but I also said no Undertaker, no B- grade. Because, how do you have a Raw Reunion show without the Undertaker on it? Come on. I know that's me being an Undertaker fanboy, but come on.
It's the fucking Undertaker.
Yeah.
You literally had him on for a fucking pay-per-view, and he hasn't been seen since.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have a match, supposedly with McIntyre. That's apparently out the window now.
Yeah. But yeah, I did that. Then I did a Wrestling Rundown episode. No, actually, no. Did I do? What other videos did I do?
You did.
I did. Yeah.
You did stuff. That's all we need to know.
On the Talkinator for my non-wrestling content, and then CM Brothers for just a mixture of everything. That's pretty much it, guys. We'll talk to you later because I'm gonna show James via Skype what I've been doing with Video 2000. He's gonna get behind the scenes look. So
fair enough.
There you go. Talk to you guys later. Wait, we're gonna get to... Okay, good. We're on 2 hours now. See you later.